Chapter 1. Why a 15-minute Zen practice works. Intro. If you feel like there's never enough time to relax, you're not alone. Between meetings, assignments, family demands, and the constant buzz of notifications, it's easy to think deep calm requires hours or a weekend away. This chapter explains why a focused 15-minute Zen practice can offer meaningful relief, restore clarity, and fit into the busiest day. You'll understand the science behind short meditations, what makes them effective, and how to set realistic expectations so your practice sticks. Modern life trains us to expect instant results yet keeps us overloaded. That makes short, reliable tools especially valuable. A 15-minute Zen practice is not a quick fix that masks stress. It's a repeatable habit that resets your nervous system, improves attention, and gives you an accessible space to respond rather than react. Over time, brief daily sessions add up. Stress decreases, productivity improves, and emotional balance grows. Here we look at why 15 minutes is often enough to create measurable change. How short sessions change the brain. Research shows that even brief periods of focused breathing and mindful attention can change brain activity. After just a few minutes of calm focus, areas linked to attention regulation show greater engagement. The amygdala, your brain's alarm center, can quiet down, which reduces the intensity of stress responses. When this happens consistently, neural pathways supporting calm and focus strengthen. The effect is cumulative. Daily short sessions produce measurable improvements in resilience and cognitive control over weeks. Why 15 minutes is practical and powerful. 15 minutes is short enough to fit into a lunch break, a gap between classes, or a moment before an important meeting. It's long enough to move beyond distraction and enter a steady, focused state. The first few minutes usually involve settling in. The middle 7 to 10 minutes deepen relaxation and attention. The final moments help you bring calm into action. This structure makes the practice accessible and satisfying, avoiding the all-or-nothing trap where people skip meditation because they don't have a full hour. Immediate benefits you can expect. Lower physiological arousal, reduced heart rate and muscle tension. Clearer thinking, reduced mental clutter and better focus. Emotional calm, less reactivity and a greater sense of control. Improved decision-making, a calmer mind makes steadier choices. These benefits depend on consistency. One 15-minute session can shift your mood and clarity, but repeated sessions create lasting gains. How the Zen approach is different. Zen, in the way it's used here, emphasizes simple attention to the present moment with a non-judgmental attitude. It's not about emptying the mind or reaching a special state. Instead, Zen practices focus on steadying attention, often through breath or body awareness, and tuning out the narrative that keeps replaying in your head. This practical, down-to-earth method is ideal for busy people. It's flexible, approachable, and immediately useful. Key elements of a 15-minute Zen practice. Clear intention. You decide what you want from the practice: calm, clarity, focus, or recovery. Simple anchor. Breath, posture, or a short phrase keeps your attention steady. Non-judgmental notice. When the mind wanders, you gently return attention without criticism. Short ritual. A consistent beginning and end helps your brain switch into practice mode quickly. Common objections and how to handle them. People often say they can't meditate because their mind won't be quiet, they don't have time, or they're skeptical it will work. Each of these concerns has a practical counterpoint. My mind is too busy. That's exactly why you should practice. The aim isn't to silence thoughts, but to notice them and return to your anchor. Over time, noticing becomes easier and less disruptive. I can't find a quiet place. Zen practice works in noisy environments too. The idea is to develop inner calm that isn't hostage to silence. Start in a quiet spot if you can, then practice in progressively busier places. It won't make a difference. Short practices are backed by research and countless personal reports. Try a consistent 15-minute habit for 2 weeks and track your sleep, stress, and focus to see real change, making it fit your life. To make this practice stick, pair it with an existing habit. After brushing your teeth, before lunch, or when you sit down at your desk. Treat the 15 minutes like a meeting with yourself. Mark it on your calendar, set a gentle reminder, and create a small ritual to start. A cup of tea, a few deep breaths, or a short grounding gesture like placing a hand on your chest. These tiny cues turn intention into reality. What to expect in the chapters ahead. After this chapter, you'll learn how to prepare your space and mind in ways that make 15 minutes deeply effective. You'll get a full guided 15-minute Zen session to use immediately, along with variations for the office, commute, and bedtime. Later chapters cover how to stay consistent, handle setbacks, and bring the calm of meditation into daily interactions. Each chapter includes practical exercises you can use right away. Start with the simple idea that you can create a meaningful pause. 15 minutes is enough to clear the fog, refresh your focus, and return to your life more present and ready. That small investment of time becomes a reliable tool for stress relief and steady energy. Keep going. The next chapter will show you how to set up a quick Zen practice that fits your day. 1.1 How Short Sessions Change the Brain Intro. 15 minutes of focused attention does more than feel good. This short intro explains how those minutes shift brain activity, calm the alarm centers, and strengthen pathways that support focus and emotional balance. Breath and attention reshape neural activity. Even a few minutes of steady breathing and gentle attention produce measurable shifts in how brain networks communicate. Focusing on the breath engages prefrontal regions that support deliberate attention, while the habitual reactivity of the amygdala, the brain's alarm center, tends to quiet. That combination reduces the surge of stress hormones and creates a brief window of calm in which you can choose a different response. Physiologically, slow diaphragmatic breathing stimulates the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering heart rate and easing muscle tension. At the same time, tuned attention enhances interoceptive areas like the insula, improving awareness of bodily signals so you notice stress earlier and intervene sooner. The practical result is immediate: fewer impulsive reactions, clearer options, and a felt sense of space. Those minutes are not wasted downtime. They actively reshape the brain's balance between automatic alarm and thoughtful control. Cumulative effects build resilience. One 15-minute session can change your mood for an hour. Practicing daily turns that temporary change into lasting transformation. Repeated short sessions strengthen neural pathways associated with calm, focus, and emotional regulation through neuroplasticity. Over weeks, the brain becomes more efficient at shifting from reactivity to reflection. Studies show consistent practice alters connectivity between the prefrontal cortex and limbic areas, reducing the amplitude of stress responses. That means situations that once triggered anxiety become easier to navigate with steadier attention and clearer thinking. Improvements in working memory, cognitive control, and stress tolerance are common outcomes of this small, regular investment. Think of 15 minutes as a low-dose, high-frequency training regimen. Modest per session, powerful in aggregate. The real resilience comes from consistency, not duration. Short daily practice accumulates into durable capacity to meet life's demands. Fast feedback encourages habit. Short Zen sessions offer immediate, tangible feedback: calmer breathing, less tension, clearer thoughts. These quick wins create a positive feedback loop that motivates repetition. When people notice a real shift after a brief practice, they are more likely to try it again, building momentum for a lasting habit. Psychologically, small rewards reinforce behavior. The brain's reward circuits register the relief and clarity you feel, making it easier to return to the practice next time stress rises. Because benefits appear quickly, short sessions sidestep the all-or-nothing barrier that keeps many from trying longer meditations. Practically, a consistent 15-minute routine is easy to schedule between meetings or study blocks. Those frequent, reliable resets cultivate expectation. Your mind starts to anticipate relief, which lowers resistance and increases the chance you'll prioritize the pause when it matters most. Accessible training for busy minds. Short practices are perfectly suited to people who think they can't sit still. The goal isn't silence. It's the skill of noticing thoughts and gently returning to an anchor like breath or posture. That approach makes meditation attainable even when the mind is busy or restless. Because sessions are brief, you can practice in varied settings: at your desk, standing in line, or on a short walk. Start in quieter moments to learn the method, then deliberately practice in busier situations to strengthen inner calm that isn't dependent on external silence. This accessibility reduces perfectionism and the excuse of, "I don't have time." A compact, non-judgmental practice builds confidence quickly, proving that even fragmented attention can be trained. Over time, busy minds become more flexible, responsive, and resilient, one short pause at a time. 1.2 The simple structure of a 15-minute Zen session. Intro. A clear, repeatable structure makes 15 minutes both efficient and deep. This short intro outlines a three-part flow that helps you settle, deepen, and return with purpose. Start. Set intention and settle the body, 2 to 3 minutes. Begin by naming a clear, simple intention, calm, clarity, or recovery. Say it silently once or twice so your mind has a small, focused task. A concise intention turns 15 minutes into purposeful time rather than a vague pause. Check posture. Sit with a straight back. Relax the jaw, soften the shoulders, and let your hands rest comfortably. Take 2 or 3 grounding breaths, inhaling slowly through the nose and exhaling fully. These breaths help settle the nervous system and create a dependable starting point. Treat this opening as a tiny ritual. Lighting a candle, closing your eyes, or placing a hand on your heart signals to the brain that you're transitioning from doing to being. Consistency matters. Use the same cues each time so your mind learns the pattern quickly. If 2 minutes feels too brief, add a slow breath or two. Keep the ritual compact so it fits into any schedule and still primes you for the deeper middle section. Middle, anchor attention and observe, 8 to 10 minutes. The middle is the heart of the practice. Choose an anchor, breath, body sensations, or a short phrase, and rest your attention there. Let the anchor be simple. For breath, notice the rise and fall at the nostrils or the belly. Keep attention soft, not forceful. Thoughts, feelings, and external sounds will appear. When they do, acknowledge them briefly, label if helpful, and gently return to the anchor. This gentle redirection is the actual training of attention, not a failure of practice. Use tools like counting breaths, tracking sensations, or repeating a short phrase such as in-out to steady focus, but avoid striving for emptiness. Over several minutes, your awareness will broaden to subtler body signals and emotional tone, which reduces reactivity and builds clarity. If the mind repeatedly darts, shorten anchor cycles, 3 purposeful breaths, then rest, and maintain a tone of curiosity. This steady practice is how resilience and improved focus develop. Integrate and set in action, 2 to 4 minutes. As the session closes, widen your awareness to the room. Begin with 2 or 3 full, nourishing breaths, and do a brief body scan from head to toe to notice any changes. Let gentle movement return, wiggle fingers or roll shoulders so the shift back to activity feels natural. Before you rise, set one concrete, small action for the next hour, a focused task, a short walk, or a mindful pause before responding to messages. Linking the session to a follow-up helps embed its benefits and turns calm into practical momentum. Close with a brief acknowledgement, a quiet thank you or a soft exhale, so the mind remembers the kindness of the practice. Over time, these ending rituals train your nervous system to settle more quickly and carry the session's clarity into daily choices. If you have a moment, jot one line in a journal or set a tiny calendar note. This reinforces the habit and gives quick feedback on how the session affects your day. Variation tips for different settings. When time or space is limited, adapt without losing the 3-part frame. Shorten the middle to 6 minutes while keeping the 2 to 3 minute start and 2 to 4 minute close. Or shift the anchor into movement. A walking breath pattern. Inhale for 3 steps, exhale for 3. Cultivates focus on the move. At the office, use discrete anchors. 3 slow belly breaths at your desk, a brief posture check, or a 2-minute soft gaze break. These micro-practices reset your nervous system between meetings and are easy to repeat without needing privacy. During a commute, practice seated awareness or mindful walking between stops. Notice the weight of your body, the support of the seat, or the rhythm of your steps. If noise distracts you, anchor to a short phrase, such as "here now," repeated gently to steady attention. For bedtime, keep the structure but soften the energy. Extend the out-breath, add a brief progressive muscle release, and end with a calming intention for sleep. Whatever the setting, consistent start and end cues help your brain recognize and benefit from the practice quickly. 1.3 Immediate and lasting benefits you can expect. Intro. 15 minutes offers benefits right away and over time. This intro summarizes what you'll likely notice after single and repeated sessions. Immediate physiological calm. Within minutes of a 15-minute Zen practice, your nervous system begins to shift. Breathing naturally slows and deepens, signaling the parasympathetic system to engage and lowering heart rate and blood pressure. This cascade reduces the body's immediate stress chemistry and creates a tangible sense of ease. Muscles that habitually hold tension, shoulders, jaw, neck, begin to soften, and that physical release interrupts the loop of arousal and anxiety. Heart rate variability often improves, which research links to greater resilience under pressure. Physiological calm clears space for clearer thinking and steadier responses. Even a single session can change how your body reacts to the next stressful moment, making it easier to choose a measured response rather than an impulsive reaction. With repeated practice, those rapid calming responses become more reliable, lowering your baseline arousal and speeding recovery after stressful encounters. In busy lives, this immediate bodily reset is a powerful, accessible tool when you need composure most. Clearer thinking and focus. Short Zen sessions act like a screen cleaning for the mind. They reduce mental clutter and sharpen attention quickly. By returning to a simple anchor, breath, posture, or a brief phrase, you interrupt habitual rumination and open cognitive space for the task at hand. As distractions lose their grip, working memory and the ability to hold a single task in mind improve. Decisions feel less heavy because the internal noise that amplifies doubt and second-guessing diminishes. This clearer thinking has immediate, practical results. You make faster choices, prioritize more effectively, and move through work or study with steadier momentum. You learn not to eliminate thoughts, but to let them pass, without derailment. Over time, repeated micro-practices strengthen attention networks, making sustained focus more accessible throughout the day. For busy professionals and students, these short resets mean cleaner meetings, sharper study sessions, and less time wasted recovering from interruptions. Improved emotional regulation. 15-minute Zen practices help you notice emotions early, creating a vital pause between feeling and reaction. This early awareness reduces the chance that frustration, anxiety, or anger will escalate into impulsive behavior. That pause allows more deliberate responses. Over weeks, this pattern builds. Emotional spikes become shorter and less intense, and you regain balance faster after upsetting events. Zen encourages a non-judgmental stance toward feelings. Observe without labeling yourself, so you become kinder and less self-critical. This gentle approach speeds recovery and reduces shame around difficult emotions. Relationships benefit as well. When you're less swept away by strong feelings, interactions stay calmer, and conflicts are handled with more empathy. For busy lives, that steadier emotional baseline means fewer disruptions and more consistent presence in work and home life, productivity and recovery boost. Using a 15-minute Zen session as a deliberate pause replenishes mental energy and prevents cognitive fatigue. Instead of pushing through diminishing returns, a short reset restores creativity, clarity, and decision-making capacity. Think of it as targeted recovery. Your brain shifts out of autopilot and gains perspective on tasks. This often reduces errors, speeds problem-solving, and helps you approach work with renewed focus. Physiological benefits, slower breath, steadier heart rate, combine with clearer thinking to improve the quality of what you produce. You'll frequently finish tasks more efficiently and with greater calm than if you'd continued without a break. Over time, regular micro-resets protect against burnout by preventing stress from accumulating. Schedule a 15-minute Zen break between demanding tasks or before meetings, and you'll turn brief downtime into a reliable investment in sustained performance and well-being. 1.4. Overcoming obstacles and making the practice stick. Intro. Common doubts, no time, too busy, skepticism can stop people before they start. This intro offers practical responses that make a 15-minute habit realistic and lasting. I don't have time becomes a scheduling choice. Treat the session like any other appointment. When you block 15 minutes on your calendar, you shift the interaction from a vague intention into a concrete plan. That simple act signals commitment to your brain and to others who may schedule around you. Pair the Zen practice with an existing habit. After your morning coffee, during a lunch break, or just before launching into evening tasks. Anchoring the session to a daily routine reduces decision fatigue and makes it easier to follow through. If interruption is a worry, set a gentle boundary. Enable Do Not Disturb. Place a visible sign on your desk or tell a housemate you'll be unavailable. These small practical steps protect the time without making it dramatic. Think of the 15-minute slot as an investment that pays back in clarity, reduced reactivity, and improved focus. Treating it as a scheduled choice turns scarcity into manageable priorities and increases the likelihood the practice becomes steady. My mind is too busy. Expect busy thoughts aren't a sign you've failed. They are the raw material of practice. The goal of Zen is not to empty the mind, but to notice when attention drifts and gently return to an anchor like the breath or body sensations. Each redirection strengthens mental focus. Start sessions with the expectation that your mind will wander. That shift in attitude removes frustration and reframes interruptions as opportunities to train attention. Over time, the moments between distractions lengthen, and you'll find calmer pauses appearing naturally. Use simple techniques. Count breaths for a cycle. Label thoughts briefly, planning, worry, or remembering, then let them go. These small acts of naming create distance from the mental noise and reduce its pull without judgment. Remember that consistency matters more than intensity. Frequent short practices create neural habits that make a busy mind less domineering. Celebrate the small returns. Each time you notice and come back, you're building resilience and clearer focus. Start where you are and scale up. Beginning where you are reduces pressure and increases the chance of sustaining practice. If 15 minutes feels intimidating, start with 5 or even 2 minutes. Short sessions remove resistance and let you experience the core benefit, pausing and returning to awareness. Create a simple progression. Add 1 or 2 minutes each week, or switch from daily 5-minute sits to alternating 10-minute sessions. Keep the emphasis on regularity, not how long a single session lasts. Habit formation relies on repetition. Track small wins. Note days you practiced, brief observations about mood or focus, or how sleep felt. This gentle feedback loop motivates continued effort without turning practice into a performance metric. As time passes, you'll likely notice your capacity for stillness lengthening naturally. Scaling up becomes less about discipline and more about following an organic curiosity. What does an extra minute offer? Which makes growth sustainable. Create tiny rituals that cue your brain. Tiny rituals prime your brain for practice by linking a simple action with a mental state. Lighting a candle, ringing a soft bell, or placing one hand on your heart are brief cues that tell your nervous system it's time to shift from doing to being. Keep rituals predictable and easy. A short 3-breath pattern, closing your eyes for a beat, or straightening your posture are all low friction. The key is consistency. Repeated cues create automaticity, so the transition into meditation requires less willpower. Rituals also serve as a reliable ending. A soft exhale, a stretch, or jotting one sentence about how you feel signals the brain that practice is complete and integrates calm into your next activity. Experiment to find cues that feel meaningful and realistic for your day. Over weeks, these small, repeated gestures reduce resistance and make the practice feel like a natural, restorative pause rather than an extra chore. Chapter 2: Setting up your quick Zen session, space, posture, and mindset. Intro: A successful 15-minute Zen session starts with small, practical choices: where you'll practice, how you'll sit or stand, and the intention you bring. This chapter gives clear, simple steps to prepare your space, posture, and mindset so you can settle fast and avoid common stumbling blocks. You'll learn how to create a brief ritual, choose an anchor, and use sensory cues to enter a calm state quickly, whether you're at home, at work, or on the go. Preparation doesn't mean perfection. You don't need a meditation cushion, a silent room, or special clothing. What matters is creating enough structure so your mind understands this is time for focused calm. The easiest way to do that is to build a short, repeatable routine that signals the brain it's time to shift gears. This chapter shows you how to do that in ways that feel natural, not rigid. Choose a spot that works. You can practice pretty much anywhere, but pick a spot where you're likely to return. Consistency matters more than ideal conditions. At home, this might be a corner of your living room or your bedroom chair. At work, a quiet meeting room, your car during lunch, or a bench outdoors can work. Even a train seat or a stair landing can become a practice spot if you use it regularly. Make a short ritual. Rituals prepare the body and mind. A ritual can be as small as folding your hands, lighting a candle, or taking 3 intentional breaths. The point is repetition. When you repeat the same few actions before each session, your nervous system learns to move into calmness faster. Keep it under a minute so it remains practical. Posture matters, but don't overthink it. Posture is an anchor for attention. A steady, open posture helps breathing and alertness. Here are simple options that work for busy people. Sitting. Sit with the spine straight, but not rigid. Feet flat on the floor, hands resting in your lap. If you're in a chair, sit on the edge to keep the back naturally upright. Standing. Stand with feet hip-width apart, knees soft, arms relaxed. This is great for quick sessions when sitting isn't possible. Reclining. If you're really tired, lie down with a pillow under your knees. Use this sparingly because it can lead to sleep during the practice. Small details matter more than perfection. Relax the jaw, soften the shoulders, and allow the neck to align so your head isn't pulled forward. Keep your chest open enough to breathe easily. These adjustments create ease without needing a meditation cushion or special clothing. Pick an anchor you can return to. An anchor is a simple focus point that grounds your attention. Good anchors for quick Zen sessions include breath sensations at the nostrils or chest, feeling the contact of your feet with the ground, a soft repeated word or phrase like rest or steady, a short body scan focusing on shoulders, belly, and hands. Choose one anchor per session. Breath is reliable and portable, but a physical touch point like pressing the thumb and forefinger together can be useful during noisy moments. If your mind wanders, returning gently to the anchor is the whole practice. No judgment, just noticing and coming back. Set a clear, simple intention. Before you begin, state a short intention. I am taking 15 minutes to calm my nervous system, or I will return to my breath when I notice distraction. Intentions aren't about forcing outcomes. They're signals that give the mind direction. Keep it positive and present-focused. A quiet intention helps you come back if the session becomes bumpy. Use sensory cues to deepen the shift. Small sensory cues speed the transition into calm. Consider these options. A gentle scent like citrus or lavender, use a dab, not an overpowering spray. Low-volume ambient sound, soft instrumental music or natural sounds for background support. Dimmed lighting to reduce stimulation, or a small lamp that signals quiet time. These are optional. If you're in public, use a short phrase or breath ritual instead. Tools and timers. Use a simple timer with a soft alarm so you don't check the clock. Many meditation apps offer timers with gentle chimes. If you prefer analog, a kitchen timer works fine. The alarm helps you commit to the full 15 minutes and signals a clear end without abruptness. Practical tips for specific settings. At the office, book a 15-minute break on your calendar and label it clearly. If a colleague asks, call it a brief mental break. Use noise-canceling headphones or sit near a window for a calm view. On campus, find a quiet corner in the library or sit under a tree. Use your scheduled free time between classes or before a study session to reset. During commute, if you're not driving, use the ride to focus on breath or body sensations. When driving, use a safe, legal breathing exercise at a red light or during low-traffic moments. Otherwise, reserve practice for when parked. Handling resistance and distraction. Resistance often shows up as excuses or doubts. Acknowledge resistance without harshness. I noticed doubt about this working, then return to your anchor. Distraction is part of practice. Each time you come back, you're strengthening attention. Try not to add a story about whether you did it right. If you miss a session, simply resume the next day. Short pre-session checklist. Pick a spot and position. Set a 15-minute timer with a gentle alarm. Choose one anchor and a one-line intention. Complete a quick ritual, 3 breaths, folding hands, etc. With these steps, your mind and body get quick signals that it's time to switch into calm. The practice becomes easier and more reliable. The next chapter gives a full guided 15-minute Zen session you can use immediately, with clear directions for each minute, so you know what to do from start to finish. 2.1. Choose a spot that works. Find a place you can return to. The point is not a perfect shrine, but a repeatable signal your brain recognizes. A regular spot builds habit and makes it easier to settle quickly. This intro covers practical, portable options so you can practice at home, at work, or while you're moving between commitments. Consistency beats ideal conditions. Choose one or two reliable places where you'll practice quick Zen regularly. Repetition is the secret. When you return to the same chair, corner, or bench, your brain begins to treat that location as a cue for calm. Over time, the sight and feel of that spot quickly shift your nervous system into a quieter mode. Pick spots that are easy to reach and low in friction. No special cushion or silence required. A desk chair, a window seat, or the passenger side of your car can all serve. The practical aim is repeatability. If it's simple to access, you'll be more likely to return. Don't wait for ideal conditions. Small, consistent choices build momentum. Show up, use the same small ritual, and let the place do some of the work for you. Over days and weeks, the spot becomes a reliable anchor for short, restorative sessions. Home setups that stay simple. Create a small, low-effort nook that invites practice rather than demands it. A folded blanket on a chair, a cushion by the window, or a simple stool beside a plant gives you a visible place to return. This kind of approachable setup removes friction and makes starting effortless. Keep one tiny reminder there: a mug, a stone, a folded scarf, or a small plant. Seeing that object becomes a quick cue, no decision-making required. When you arrive, touch or look at the reminder and perform your short ritual. 3 intentional breaths or a 2-count hand fold. Store extras out of sight so the area stays uncluttered. If scent or soft light helps, choose subtle options, a single tea light or a dab of lavender, used sparingly. The point is to keep everything minimal so the space feels calm, not like a new to-do. Quick choices for work and campus. At work or on campus, choose practical, private options. An empty meeting room, a parked car, a quiet hallway, a library alcove, or an outdoor bench. These spots offer enough separation to focus without needing perfection. The aim is a place you can reach consistently between tasks or classes. Block 15 minutes on your calendar and label it a mental break so it's less likely to be interrupted. If someone asks, say you're taking a short reset. Most people will respect that. Noise-canceling headphones are helpful, but a simple breath anchor or feeling your feet on the floor works well when headphones aren't an option. Keep the ritual under a minute. 3 mindful breaths, a shoulder release, or a short body scan, and use the same anchor each time. This predictability makes it easier to settle fast. Remember, brief and regular sessions trump occasional long ones. Small resets compound into greater focus and lower stress across your day. Options for the commute and busy moments. If you commute, use travel time as a portable practice. On public transit, close your eyes briefly and follow the breath or feel your feet on the floor. While walking between meetings, pause for a 2-minute standing practice at a crosswalk, entryway, or bus stop. If you're driving, wait until you're parked or at a complete stop. Safety first. For very short windows, use micro techniques. 1 full belly breath, a 5-count inhale and exhale, or pressing thumb and forefinger together as a tactile anchor. These methods fit into tight schedules and are discreet in public. They work because they refocus attention quickly and require no props. Treat these moments as legitimate practice, not padding between tasks. Small, repeated resets add up and can steady your day when stress spikes. Keep expectations modest. Even 30 seconds of calm reduces reactivity and clears a little mental space, making the next task feel more manageable. 2.2 Posture and Micropostures. Posture shapes attention. You don't need a fancy cushion. You need a steady, relaxed alignment that keeps you alert and comfortable. These posture options fit short sessions and changing environments, so your body supports the practice instead of distracting from it. Sitting. The practical default sitting is the most accessible posture for short Zen sessions. Position yourself near the front of the chair so your pelvis tips slightly forward and your spine stacks naturally. Keep feet flat on the floor and knees roughly level with your hips to maintain a steady base. Rest your hands in your lap or on your thighs with fingers relaxed. Allow the chest to remain open enough for easy breath, but avoid lifting your shoulders. Let them soften away from the ears. A gentle micro-tilt of the chin helps align the neck so your head isn't pulled forward. This setup supports alert calm without strain and works across environments. at a desk, on a couch, or in a meeting room. If you need more support, sit on a folded blanket or use a lumbar cushion to sustain the forward tilt. Keep your ritual brief, 3 intentional breaths or a single phrase, and return to your chosen anchor whenever attention drifts. Standing, quick and grounding. Standing is ideal when you need a fast reset or have limited space. Place feet hip-width apart and soften the knees so they are not locked. Feel weight distributed evenly between both feet. Ground through the soles without gripping the toes or heels. Let the arms hang naturally or rest one hand gently on the belly. A subtle tailbone tuck and a light lift through the crown create a straight, relaxed spine. Soften the jaw and relax the throat to keep breathing easy and steady. Standing reboots energy while keeping you alert. It's perfect between meetings, during a quick break, or walking to the next task. Use a brief breath count or a tactile anchor, thumb and forefinger touch, to stabilize attention. Even a minute of mindful standing can shift your nervous system toward calm. Reclining. Use it carefully. Reclining can be deeply restorative, but carries a higher chance of drifting into sleep. Lie on your back with a pillow under your knees to relieve the lower back and place hands on the belly or chest to feel the breath. Keep the jaw soft and the face relaxed. Shorten reclining sessions and set a gentle timer so you benefit from rest without unintentionally napping. Use a clear intention before you lie down, something like 15 minutes to restore, and choose an anchor you can easily return to, such as breath at the belly or a short body scan. If you're very tired, use recline sparingly for recovery days. For daily practice, consider a semi-reclined position in a supported chair or a short seated session to maintain wakefulness while still allowing relaxation. Micro adjustments that matter. Tiny changes in alignment and tension make a big difference. Relax the jaw and unclench the teeth. Soften the throat so breathing is effortless. Drop the shoulders away from the ears and let the chest open slightly without puffing up. Bring the chin gently inward to align the neck and allow the gaze to soften, either a light close of the eyes or a softened focus a few feet ahead. These shifts reduce muscular effort and create space for easier breathing. Use micro postures throughout the day, a brief shoulder roll, an intentional lengthening of the spine, or pressing the feet firmly into the ground to re-anchor attention. Small, repeatable tweaks preserve comfort and alertness, helping your body quietly support the practice wherever you are. 2.3 Anchors and Simple Intentions. An anchor and a short intention give your session direction. Anchors are sensory or mental points you return to when the mind wanders. Intentions are one-line reminders of purpose, not goals. Together, they make 15 minutes feel focused and useful. Breath as the primary anchor. Breath is the simplest, most reliable anchor you can carry anywhere. Focus on a single specific sensation, the coolness at the nostrils, the subtle rise and fall of the chest, or the expansion of the belly. Choosing one spot gives your attention a clear home. Let the breath be natural. Don't force or change it. Notice each inhale and exhale as if you're watching waves. In noisy or busy settings, the breath remains available even when sounds or thoughts intrude, which makes it ideal for short, practical Zen sessions. When your mind wanders, return with kindness to the next breath. You can silently label breaths in and out, or simply rest attention where the sensation is strongest. Each gentle return strengthens focus. Over time, the breath becomes an automatic pathway back to calm. Grounding anchors for noisy places. Physical anchors are especially useful when ambient noise or movement keeps disrupting attention. Simple tactile cues, pressing thumb and forefinger together, feeling the soles of your feet against the floor, or noticing the contact point where your body meets a chair, provide immediate, tangible focus. These anchors work fast because they require no quiet. They redirect attention to present sensation. Use a discreet touch or a brief body check whenever breathing attention gets fragmented. Press, feel, release, and return to the rhythm of your session. You can combine tactile anchors with small movement, a gentle shoulder roll before settling, or a mindful shift in your seat. These actions signal your nervous system that this is a moment of care, helping you land more quickly and calm, even in crowded or noisy environments. Using a short word or phrase, a single, soft word or phrase can act as a mental handhold when thoughts churn. Choose a neutral, present-focused word like here, steady, or rest. Repeat it quietly on the out-breath or whenever you notice distraction, using it as a gentle cue rather than a command. Keep the words short and kindly. If you prefer, use a two-word phrase such as soft attention or breath here. Say it silently or whisper it. No need for volume. The repetition anchors thought without adding drama or striving. When practice becomes bumpy, the word helps you reorient quickly. Notice the thought, release it, and return to the chosen phrase. Over time, this simple mental cue shortens the gap between distraction and calm, making quick Zen sessions more dependable. Set a clear, present intention. An intention is a concise, compassionate statement that frames your session. Keep it to one line. For example, I am taking 15 minutes to calm my nervous system, or I will return to my breath when distracted. It's a guiding signal, not a performance test. State the intention aloud or silently before you begin, and let it sit for a moment. This brief declaration aligns attention and reduces internal argument about whether you're doing it right. Intentions should be present-focused and positive to invite ease rather than pressure. If practice stalls, recall your intention instead of judging. Use it as a returning point. Read it, repeat it, or glance at a written note on your phone. A simple, steady intention makes short sessions feel purposeful and helps you come back with patience when the mind drifts. 2.4 Rituals, Sensory Cues, and Tools. Short rituals and light sensory support speed the shift into calm. Keep rituals under a minute so they stay practical. Tools and cues should be simple, repeatable, and portable, things that signal your brain it's time to relax without requiring setup. Create a 1-minute ritual. Choose 2 or 3 quick actions you repeat before each session. Folding your hands, taking 3 slow breaths, and closing your eyes is a simple example. Keep the sequence the same every time so it becomes an automatic cue rather than a decision to make. Aim for under a minute. The brevity makes the ritual practical and repeatable between meetings, classes, or commute stops. If you're in public, swap visual actions for something subtle, like pressing thumb and forefinger together or whispering a single word inwardly. After the physical actions, state a one-line intention quietly. This seals the transition from doing to being. Over days, your nervous system begins to recognize the pattern and shifts toward calm more quickly. Consistency beats perfection. The point is the signal, not the pomp. Small, reliable rituals reduce resistance and help you start your 15-minute Zen session already halfway there. Sensory cues that deepen the shift. Use gentle sensory cues sparingly to deepen the transition into calm. A single dab of lavender or citrus on a wrist, a low-volume ambient track, or soft, warm lighting can lower your overall stimulation and support focus. The key is subtlety. Too strong a scent or music with lyrics will pull attention away instead of settling it. In shared spaces, pick unobtrusive cues. A brief breath pattern, a discrete touch point like rubbing the thumb and forefinger, or a short, silent phrase. Body-based cues, relaxing the jaw, dropping the shoulders, or noticing the soles of the feet, are free, portable, and instantly effective. Use the same cues consistently so they become conditioned signals. Before a presentation, rehearsal, or study block, deploy your chosen sensory element to prime your nervous system. When well chosen and consistently applied, small sensory supports accelerate entry into the 15-minute Zen state. Timers and graceful endings. Choose a timer with a soft, pleasant alarm so the end of your session feels gentle. Many meditation apps offer chimes that rise slowly or a single light bell that isn't jarring. If you prefer analog, a kitchen timer with a mellow ring or a phone timer set to a soft tone works well. Avoid checking the clock during practice. The timer frees you from monitoring minutes and reduces performance anxiety. Let the alarm be the clear boundary that allows you to surrender to the practice without counting. When the timer sounds, spend 30 to 60 seconds ending with intention. Take a full belly breath, gently stretch your arms or shoulders, and open your eyes slowly. Notice how your body feels and make a brief mental note. I feel calmer, or I'm ready to return. A graceful ending prevents abruptness, helps integrate calm into your next task, and makes it easier to re-enter a busy day with steadiness. Practical. Tools and phone settings. Prepare practical tools that simplify starting and staying in practice. Before you begin, switch your phone to Do Not Disturb or a brief scheduled focus mode so notifications won't pull you out. Airplane mode can work when you need absolute quiet, but remember to re-enable necessary alerts afterward. Keep a small tactile object, like a smooth stone, ring, or bead, in your pocket to use as a touch anchor. When attention drifts, a gentle rub of the object redirects focus without requiring a long pause. If you prefer guided audio, choose one short track you like and use it repeatedly. Consistency builds familiarity and reduces decision time. Set your environment using minimal mobile tools, noise-canceling earbuds for busy spaces, a pocket-sized essential oil roll for subtle scent, or a compact timer with a soft chime. Label a 15-minute calendar block clearly as mental reset to protect the time. These simple adjustments remove friction and make it easy to fit quick Zen into any schedule. 2.5 Handling resistance, distraction, and the quick checklist. Resistance and distraction are normal. The practice is the return, not perfection. Use simple strategies to move past excuses and stay consistent. Finish each session with a checklist so you leave feeling steady and ready to re-enter your day. Name resistance without judgment. Resistance often appears as an inner voice saying you don't have time or that this won't help. Instead of arguing with it, give it a simple name. There's doubt, or there's resistance. Naming it briefly creates distance and reduces its intensity. After acknowledging it, return gently to your chosen anchor, breath, body sensation, or a word. Repeat this process each time the thought surfaces. Each acknowledgement is a small exercise in self-trust. You're training your mind to notice and release rather than escalate. Keep responses short and kind. Avoid moral language like, "I'm bad for thinking this." Instead, treat resistance as part of the mind's protective habit. Over time, the named voice loses urgency, and you'll find sessions feel more steady and accessible. Try a microscript before you sit. Silently say, "If resistance comes, I'll notice and return." Use this intention as a gentle cue. The simple loop, notice, name, return, makes practice practical and sustainable for busy days. Short techniques to handle distraction. Distraction is normal. Quick, reliable techniques help reorient attention without judgment. The 4-count breath is a compact reset. Inhale for 4, pause for 1, exhale for 4. Repeat 2 or 3 times to calm the nervous system and recenter focus. When thoughts race, use the 5-4-3-2-1 grounder to anchor you in the present. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste or imagine tasting. Move deliberately and slowly. For noisy or public settings, press thumb and forefinger together, feel the contact, and breathe. Or run a brief 1-minute body scan, shoulders, belly, hands. These tactile and sensory tools work fast when you need to redirect attention without frustration. Use these techniques both inside a formal session and between tasks, at your desk, on a walk, or before a meeting. Remember, each reset is practice. There's no need to force results. Return patiently and keep the steps simple and kind. Simple habit tips. Treat your 15-minute Zen like any other appointment. Block it in your calendar and honor it. Pair the practice with an existing habit, after lunch, before an afternoon study block, or at the end of your commute. Habit stacking makes the new routine easier to adopt. Start small and aim for consistency. Missing a session isn't failure, it's information. Note what got in the way and adjust your plan. Regular short sits build momentum faster than occasional long ones. Choose one predictable cue and maintain it for several weeks so your nervous system learns the rhythm. Use micro-commitments, even 5 minutes on busier days. Set gentle reminders on your phone, or pair up with a friend for accountability to keep pressure low. Celebrate small wins like 3 sessions in a week and view consistency as progress. Over time, that steady practice becomes an effortless refuge you can access during stress. Quick pre-session checklist. Use this short checklist before every quick Zen session to create immediate structure. A brief routine signals your nervous system to shift into calm. Keep each step under a minute so the ritual stays practical for busy schedules. Pick a familiar spot and a comfortable posture, edge of a chair, standing tall, or lying with knees supported. Consistency in location and position reduces setup friction and cues your mind that it's time to pause. Set a gentle 15-minute timer with a soft chime. Choose one anchor, breath, a body point, or a calming word, and state a one-line intention such as, "I'll return to breath," or "I am taking 15 minutes to calm." This focus guides the session. Complete a 1-minute ritual, 3 slow breaths, folding your hands or a small stretch, then begin. After the session, pause briefly to notice how you feel and ease back into your day with a simple transition, a sip of water or a gentle stretch. Chapter 3, a complete 15-minute guided Zen session, script and timing. This chapter provides a full, easy-to-follow 15-minute Zen meditation script you can use right away. Each minute includes clear instructions so you always know what to do. Read the script aloud to yourself, record it on your phone, or use it silently. The session focuses on breath, gentle body awareness, and simple noticing. It's designed to calm the nervous system, sharpen attention, and leave you grounded and ready for the next task. Before you begin, set a gentle timer for 15 minutes and choose a comfortable posture. If you like, read the opening lines aloud to anchor yourself. You can return to this script whenever you need a fast reset. If you have a recording device, consider recording the script in your voice. Hearing your voice often deepens the practice. Settling in. Take a moment to arrive. Close your eyes if that feels safe. Notice the weight of your body on the chair or floor. Take 3 slow, intentional breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth or nose, whichever feels natural. State your simple intention. I give myself 15 minutes of calm. Allow your shoulders to drop and your jaw to soften. Let this be a quiet pause before the practice deepens. 1 to 4. Gentle breath awareness. Bring attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. Don't try to change it. Notice the coolness as air enters and the warmth as it leaves. If you prefer, focus on the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Count silently if it helps. 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale, up to 5, then start again. If the mind wanders, notice the wandering with kindness and gently return to the breath. This phase builds steady attention. 4 to 7. Body scan and release. Shift your focus to a slow scan from head to toe. Start at the top of the head and move down. Forehead, eyes, jaw. Soften each area. Notice any tension in the neck and shoulders. Breathe into it and imagine it loosening. Continue down through the chest, belly, hips, knees, calves, and feet. Spend a few breaths on any area that feels tight. This gentle scan releases physical strain and deepens the sense of being grounded in the body. 7 to 10. Focused attention with a soft phrase. Return to the breath and add a soft phrase to steady attention. On the inhale, think or feel in. On the exhale, think or feel out, or use words like steady and calm. Keep the phrase light, like fog on a window, not paint on a wall. If thoughts arise, name them briefly, planning, worry, memory, then let them go and return to the phrase. This part trains you to notice distractions without getting pulled in. 10, 12, 30. Open awareness. Let your focus widen to include sounds, sensations, and thoughts without holding on to any of them. Imagine being a clear window that lets weather pass. You see it without needing to react. Watch sounds come and go, feeling arise and dissolve. This open awareness provides perspective. Thoughts are events in the mind, not commands you must follow. Hold this view gently. It deepens equanimity and reduces urgency. 12 through 14. Gratitude and intention for the rest of the day. Bring to mind one small thing you appreciate, a sip of coffee, a kind message, a moment of sunlight. Let that appreciation soften your chest. Set a short intention for how you'll move forward. I'll keep this calm when I speak, or I'll return to my breath when stress rises. Keep the intention simple and actionable. This step helps you carry the practice into your next task. 14-15. Gentle close. Slowly deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes, feeling the contact with the ground or chair. When you're ready, open your eyes. Take a moment to notice the shift, how your mind and body feel now compared to before the session. Thank yourself for taking this time. Rise slowly, carrying the calm forward. After the session, short reflection. Spend 1 minute noting 3 things: what felt helpful in the session, any difficulties you noticed, and one concrete way you'll use the calm in the next hour. Write these down if you like. This brief reflection anchors the benefits and helps you learn from each practice. Variations to fit your day. If you're at your desk and need a mini break, shorten this session to 7 to 10 minutes. Quick breath awareness, a short body scan, and 1 minute of gratitude. If you're on public transport, keep your eyes open and focus on breath at the nostrils or the gentle contact of your feet with the floor. For bedtime, slow the pacing, spend more time on the body scan, and avoid the gratitude intention section if it stimulates thinking. Modify the script so it feels natural. Consistency matters more than exact replication. What to do when practice feels like work? If the session feels effortful, remind yourself that some days are like that. Don't judge the practice. Each return to the anchor strengthens attention. Keep the tone gentle and curious. If you find your mind racing repeatedly, shorten the session and increase frequency. 2 7-minute practices may feel easier and still bring benefit. Recording your practice. Consider recording the script in your own voice to use when you're tired or distracted. Hearing your voice can feel comforting and make the practice more personal. Many people find that recorded guides remove the small friction of decision-making and make it easier to start and finish sessions. This guided session gives you a practical, repeatable routine you can use anytime. Try it for 2 weeks and notice how your reactivity, focus, and overall stress levels shift. The next chapter shows how to adapt the Zen practice to different parts of your day, work, commuting, and before sleep, so you can carry calm into every environment. 3.1 Starting the 15-minute session. Begin by making this short pause safe and simple. In these first moments, you set the tone for the whole practice. Settle your body, choose a quiet timer, and offer yourself a brief intention. These opening steps make it easy to move from busyness into calm. Set a gentle timer and find a comfortable posture. Choose a soft alarm so it won't startle you. Sit with a straight but relaxed spine, or lie down if you prefer. Let your feet or seat feel the support beneath you, and allow the body to settle into whatever surface holds it. A small adjustment now, uncrossing legs, softening shoulders, reduces fidgeting and helps you stay present for the full 15 minutes. Notice how tiny changes affect comfort. Aim for ease rather than perfect posture. If you're at a desk, keep both feet on the floor and uncurl your shoulders. In a chair, tilt your pelvis slightly forward to support the natural curve of the lower back. If lying down, place a cushion under your knees to release the lower back. Setting posture and a gentle timer creates a practical container for the practice, making it more likely you'll complete the session and carry calm into what follows. If noise is unavoidable, consider soft earplugs or gentle ambient sound to preserve the session's steadiness. Use a single, clear intention. Pick one simple line to anchor the practice, something like, "I give myself 15 minutes of calm." The sentence is a gentle orienting phrase, not an instruction to chase perfection. Let it hold your attention with warmth rather than pressure. Repeat the line once or twice, aloud or silently. Saying it aloud can feel grounding. Saying it silently can be discreet in public. Either way, let the words soften rather than sharpen your focus. If your mind resists or becomes busy, notice that resistance with kindness and return to the intention. You don't need to believe it fully. Treating the intention as an experiment is enough. Carry the phrase briefly after the session ends. Use a shorter form at work. Calm now, so the intention becomes a practical touchstone you can access quickly whenever stress creeps in. You can choose different intention words depending on the day. I breathe ease. I meet this moment, or a quality like steady. A nonverbal option is resting a hand on your chest as the phrase arises. Take 3 slow, intentional breaths. Begin the practice with 3 deliberate breaths to mark the transition from activity to presence. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth or nose, whichever feels more natural. Make each breath a touch slower than usual, but avoid forcing length or depth. As you breathe, notice subtle sensations, the coolness at the nostrils, the gentle rise of the chest or belly, and the soft release on the exhale. You don't need elaborate breathing techniques. Intention and awareness matter more than perfection. If the mind jumps ahead, simply come back to the next breath without judgment. Think of these 3 breaths as a warm-up that steadies the nervous system and signals safety to your body. Later in the session, or during a stressful moment at work, you can return to these 3 breaths as a quick reset. Even when time is tight, 3 conscious breaths interrupt reactivity and restore a bit of clarity and calm. Anchor with a small physical cue. Choose a tiny, repeatable physical cue to mark the start of your practice. Touch your thumb to your index finger, rest both hands on your lap, or tilt your chin slightly down. The cue becomes a conditioned signal for your nervous system. After a few sessions, it will begin to recognize the pattern and ease into calm more quickly. Keep the action simple and discreet so you can use it anywhere. A public commute calls for a subtle cue. At home, you might use a fuller gesture. Consistency matters. Pair the same cue with each session for several days to strengthen the association. Use the cue sparingly later in the day when you need a fast reset. When stress rises, enact the cue and take one slow breath to anchor. Over time, this small habit can shorten the time it takes to drop into presence, making the practice more accessible during busy moments. Quick adjustments for public or busy settings. When you're in public or pressed for time, adapt the opening to fit the situation while preserving core elements, intention and breath. Keep your eyes open or soften your gaze and bring attention to the sensations at your nostrils or the contact of your feet with the floor. Shorten the opening to 30 seconds if needed, but still set your intention and take a couple of slow breaths. Use discrete cues and micro-practices, a silent phrase, 2 to 4 counted breaths, or a gentle hand-on-lap touch. These small actions interrupt reactivity without drawing attention. If you're on a train or bus, use the seat's support to ground your posture. In a crowded cafe, focus on the rise and fall at the belly. In short meetings, allow a brief breath or the cue at the start to center you. Remember, the quality of attention matters more than duration. Even brief adjustments can reset your nervous system and bring clarity into a busy day. 3.2 Breath awareness and gentle body scan. The middle minutes build steady attention and release physical tension. Start by simply noticing breath, then move slowly through the body to ease tight spots. This combination calms the nervous system and deepens presence. Notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Begin by simply placing attention on breathing without changing its pace. Observe the coolness at the nostrils or the gentle rise and fall of the belly. Let the breath be your anchor, quiet, steady, and present. This is a practice of noticing, not of control. If you like structure, add a soft counting pattern, 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale up to 5, then restart. The count is a tool to focus attention, not a rule to force. Keep the tone light. If counting becomes rigid, drop it and return to open observation. When your mind wanders, acknowledge the drift with kindness and come back to the next breath. Each return strengthens attention. Over time, this gentle witnessing calms the nervous system and creates a foundation of steadiness for the rest of the session. Use the breath to soften tension. When you detect a tight spot, direct a few mindful breaths toward that area. Imagine the inhale traveling into the tension and the exhale bringing a sense of release. This intention often helps muscles and habitual holding patterns loosen more naturally than forcing a stretch. Combine imagery with curiosity. Ask where the sensation sits and how it changes with each breath. Stay patient. Sometimes a single breath brings a shift. Other times it takes several cycles. Avoid straining. The goal is ease, not dramatic change. If a spot feels especially guarded, soften your approach by shortening the breath or focusing on surrounding areas first. Small, compassionate adjustments invite sustainable release and deepen your connection to bodily signals. Slowly scan from head to toes. Move attention deliberately down the body. Forehead, eyes, jaw, shoulders, chest, belly, hips, thighs, knees, calves, and feet. Pause for a few breaths at each place and allow any tension to be noticed and softened. Naming each area, silently, helps organize attention. If your mind jumps ahead, guide it back gently to the next point in the sequence, rather than reprimanding yourself. The scan is a map, not a test. Staying methodical helps you inhabit the body with increasing clarity. At the end of the sweep, spend a breath or two sensing the body as a whole. This integration reinforces grounding and shows how local tensions relate to overall posture and ease. Stay curious, not critical. Adopt an attitude of gentle curiosity toward sensations. Notice qualities, temperature, tightness, tingling, without labeling them as good or bad. This non-judgmental stance reduces the secondary stress that comes from reacting to your experience. If you encounter sharp pain or strong discomfort, soften the scan. Shorten each stop, reduce intensity, or redirect attention to contact points like where your body meets the chair or floor. Practical care keeps the practice safe and sustainable. Remember that curiosity invites learning. By observing with warmth, you gather useful information about patterns of tension and the conditions that calm you, which supports wiser choices beyond the cushion. Options for a shorter practice. When time is limited, focus on the essentials. 1 to 2 minutes of simple breath awareness, followed by a quick head-to-toe sweep. Check key areas, eyes, jaw, neck, shoulders, and finish with a full-body breath to integrate the shift. At your desk, keep eyes open and anchor on the sensations of the nostrils or the feet touching the floor. On public transport, shorten each stop in the scan to a single breath and use the breath-counting tool to maintain attention. 2 short sessions in a day often outweigh a single rushed one. Even brief, repeated resets build resilience and keep your system calmer across a busy schedule. 3.3 Focused phrase, open awareness, and handling distractions. This segment trains your mind to notice without getting pulled in. A soft phrase steadies attention, and then you learn to widen your awareness so thoughts and sounds pass by without taking over. Use a light, steady phrase. Choose a short, gentle phrase to pair with your breath. 1 syllable often works best. On the inhale, think or feel in. On the exhale, think or feel out, or use simple words like steady or calm. Treat the phrase as a soft guide, not a command. It's a thread you can follow back to the breath when attention drifts. Keep the tone light and non-judgmental. Let the phrase sit at the edge of awareness rather than pushing it into focus. If it helps, record a neutral version of the phrase or practice it aloud once to anchor the habit. Use the phrase for short stretches, 1 to 3 minutes, then widen awareness. Over time, this gentle repetition builds trust in your attention, making it easier to reconnect quickly during a busy day without frustration. Name distractions briefly. When thoughts, worries, or plans arise, acknowledge them with a single neutral label: planning, worry, memory, or tired. Say the word softly in your mind, and then let the thought pass. This brief naming creates a small gap between you and the thought, reducing its emotional pull and making it easier to return to your anchor. Avoid analyzing the content or asking why it appeared. The goal is recognition and release, not problem solving. With practice, the label becomes a swift reset rather than an invitation to follow the story. If helpful, whisper the label or jot it down after the session. Naming trains attention to see thoughts as events you can observe rather than directives that must be obeyed. Widen into open awareness after steadying with a phrase or breath, soften the focus, and let attention broaden to include sounds, physical sensations, and emotions all at once. Don't cling to any one object, allow each experience to appear and pass. Picture yourself as a clear window or calm sky where weather moves through without needing your reaction. Use soft curiosity to survey both inner and outer experiences. If a loud noise, ache, or image arises, simply notice it as part of the field and allow the entire field to remain open. This shift, from being inside each event to observing the flow, reduces reactivity and cultivates spaciousness. Begin with short periods and lengthen gradually as comfort grows. If the field feels chaotic, return briefly to the soft phrase or a single breath to restabilize, then widen again. This back and forth trains flexibility and perspective. Keep the tone light and curious. Bring a gentle, curious attitude to whatever appears. Imagine yourself as a friendly observer rather than a stern judge. This welcoming tone lowers resistance and helps you notice patterns without becoming entangled in them. When frustration or judgment arises, name it briefly, frustration or and soften your posture. Ask small, practical questions like, what does this feel like? Or where is this in my body? A gentle inward smile can relax the throat and soften the experience. If you slip into self-criticism, pause and breathe. Remind yourself that wandering is natural. Use light language such as interesting instead of harsh labels, and acknowledge each return as progress. This friendly approach makes the practice inviting and sustainable. Adjust when the mind is unusually busy. When your mind is racing, simplify the practice. Shorten the phrase or return to a 1 or 2 breath anchor. Inhale and notice length. Exhale and soften. These micro anchors interrupt rumination without requiring long concentration, giving a quick nervous system reset. Consider splitting practice into two shorter sessions, two 7-minute sits if a single 15-minute block feels impossible. Pocket practices work well too. 3 mindful breaths before a meeting, a 60-second body check at your desk, or tracing your fingers to ground attention. Gentle movement, standing, stretching, or walking, can also clear excess energy so focus returns more easily. Favor consistency over perfection. On busy days, reduce duration and increase frequency rather than forcing a long sit. Treat those moments as valuable training. Each gentle return strengthens attention. End by noting one small intention for the next hour to carry calm into action. 3.4. Closing, reflection, and variations to fit your day. End the session with a gentle close and a quick reflection to lock in the benefits. This final part helps you move back into life with a clear intention and practical tools for using the calm you've created. Gratitude and a brief intention bring to mind one small thing you appreciate: a warm cup of tea, a helpful message, a sliver of sunlight. Let that appreciation rise in your chest and soften your breathing. Gratitude doesn't have to be grand. Small, genuine moments create a steady current of warmth that anchors you in the present. After feeling the softening, set a short, actionable intention for the next hour. Something like, "I will pause and breathe before responding," or "I'll bring one calm breath into meetings." Keep it simple and specific so it's easy to remember when the day becomes busy. Repeat the intention silently once or twice and imagine a gentle reminder: your breath, a wrist tap, or a sticky note. This links the meditation to real-life behavior and makes calm accessible throughout the day. Over time, these small intentions compound. A single remembered pause can shift a tense conversation, reduce reactivity, and rebuild focus. Treat this like a seed you water throughout the day. Slowly return to movement. When closing the session, gradually bring movement back in. Deepen your breath for 2 or 3 cycles, feeling the fuller inhalations and longer exhales. Notice how expansion and relaxation occur with each breath. Begin small physical reconnects. Wiggle your fingers, rotate your wrists, flex and release your toes. These micro-movements re-establish contact with your body and the surface beneath you without shocking the system. Open your eyes when you feel ready and take a moment to notice the shift. Compare how your mind and posture feel now to how they felt at the start of the session. This gentle re-entry keeps the calm intact as you transition to tasks. If you need, pause for an extra breath before standing. Standing slowly helps maintain balance, both physically and mentally, and makes it more likely the benefits of the practice carry into your next activity. Short reflection prompts. After the meditation, spend a minute reflecting using 3 concise prompts: what helped, what was hard, and one concrete way you'll use the calm. Keep each note brief, 1 phrase or sentence, so reflection stays accessible and non-judgmental. For example, write, "Breath awareness calmed my shoulders. Mind wandered during minute 4, and I'll take 3 breaths before emails." These quick observations reveal patterns and progress without requiring lengthy analysis. If you're able, jot these down in a notebook or a notes app. Tracking these mini insights over time shows subtle shifts, shorter lists of what was hard, more usable strategies that reinforce motivation and inform how you adapt future sessions. Keep the tone curious and kind. This practice of rapid reflection strengthens learning from each sit and helps you bring the meditation into real moments throughout the day. Even a single sentence can guide your next action. The goal is integration rather than perfection. Practical variations for different situations. Adapt the closing to your context so the practice feels doable. For a desk break, compress the session to focused breath, a quick 2-minute body scan, and 1 minute of gratitude. This sequence returns clarity and reduces tension without taking too much time. On public transport, keep your eyes open and anchor attention at the nostrils or the contact of your feet with the floor. Shorter, repeated practices, 3 or 4 minutes at a time, are especially effective when surroundings are busy. Before bed, slow the pace and extend the body scan. Spend more time softening the jaw, releasing the neck, and following the breath until it naturally slows. Avoid setting forward-looking intentions that might spark planning. Instead, opt for a gentle wish for rest. Across situations, keep modifications simple. The essential ingredients are breath, brief body connection, and a single stabilizing phrase or intention. Consistent, adaptable practice wins over rigid perfection. Record your voice and build a consistent habit. Recording the script in your own voice is a small investment with big returns. Your voice carries familiar tone and assurance. Hearing it can reduce inner friction and make it easier to begin, especially when you're tired or distracted. Use a simple phone recorder, speak slowly, and include small pauses between sections so you have room to breathe. Try a couple takes and choose the one that feels calm and natural to you. If practice begins to feel like work, accept shorter sessions more often. 2 or 3 7-minute practices per day can be more sustainable than a single long sit and still build resilience and clarity. Pair recordings with cues, calendar reminders, a breath-specific chair, or a ringtone to make starting automatic. Over time, these small habits compound into a reliable relaxation routine you can call on anytime. Celebrate small wins. Note when a short practice eased stress, and use that success to motivate repetition. Chapter 4. Quick Zen Variations, Office, Commute, and Bedtime Practices. Intro. A 15-minute Zen session is powerful, but life rarely offers perfect conditions. This chapter gives short, practical variations tailored to common situations: the office, a busy commute, and bedtime. Each variation keeps the core Zen elements, anchor, non-judgmental noticing, and gentle intention, while adjusting posture, timing, and focus to fit real life. These adaptations help you keep your practice consistent and relevant, no matter where you are. Being flexible doesn't mean lowering standards. It means using the same principles in ways that are realistic and effective. Here you'll find scripts and tips for micro-sessions, 3 to 10 minutes, ways to handle interruptions, and ideas to help you carry the calm into conversations and stressful tasks. Office-friendly Zen, 10 to 15 minutes. Scenario: you have a break between meetings or need to reset after a stressful call. Find a quiet corner or your car if necessary. You can stay seated at your desk if that's easier. Just clear your workspace first so you're less likely to notice tasks while you practice. Script, 10 minutes. Minute 01. Close your eyes, sit upright, and take 3 slow grounding breaths. Minute 1-4. Breathe naturally, noticing the pause between inhale and exhale. Count silently 1-4 to steady attention. Minute 4-7, quick body scan. Shoulders, neck, hands. Release tension intentionally as you exhale. Minute 7-9, repeat a one-word phrase such as steady or calm on each exhale. Minute 9-10, set an intention for your next meeting or task. I will listen clearly. Practical tip: close your laptop lid or turn your monitor slightly to signal you're taking a break. Use a soft alarm so you don't rush out of the practice. Micro break for busy days, 3 to 5 minutes. If you only have a few minutes, use this short routine to reset quickly. Take 3 slow belly breaths, then rest attention on the feet for the rest of the time. Feet on floor practice is grounding and fast. Finish by straightening your posture and taking 1 clear breath in, out. Commute Zen when you're not driving. Public transit or ride shares are perfect for short meditations. Keep eyes open if you prefer. Focus on sensory anchors, the feeling of your seat, the contact of your hands, or the rhythm of your breath. If your commute is longer than 15 minutes, try 2 cycles: a focused 7-minute breath session, followed by an 8-minute open awareness period where you observe sounds and sensations without reaction. Script: minute 1, settle and breathe slowly. Minute 1-4, breath-focused attention. Notice inhale-exhale sensations. Minute 4-7, expand to include ambient sounds. Notice them, then return to breath. Minute 7-8, close with a simple intention for arrival. I will step off calm and ready. Driving safe practice when parked. If you're driving, wait until you're safely parked. Use 3 deep, calm, diaphragmatic breaths before getting back on the road. This quick reset reduces tense holding in the body and clears mental clutter. Before sleep Zen, 12 to 15 minutes. Evening practice should be slow and gentle. Avoid practices that sharpen planning or problem solving. Focus on body sensations and slow rhythmic breaths. A longer body scan is especially helpful to release physical tension so your nervous system can relax into sleep. Script: minute 02, settling breath, soften the jaw and shoulders. Minute 2-7, full body scan from head to toes, breathing into areas of tightness. Minute 7-11, soften the breath rhythm, lengthening exhale slightly to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Minute 11:13. Visualize a slow, calming place, gentle waves, a quiet room, or a warm light around you. Minute 13:15. Set a short sleeping intention. I allow rest. Then drift into sleep or finish with 3 slow breaths and close the practice. Practice during short, stressful moments. When stress spikes, an angry email, a tense conversation, use a 60-second anchor. Place a hand on your chest or belly and take 3 slow breaths. Name the feeling. Here is frustration. Notice where it lives in your body and breathe into that place. You may not change the situation immediately, but the body's stress response will ease enough for clearer choices. Using technology without losing calm. Technology can support your practice or distract from it. Use apps for timers and gentle guided meditations when starting out. But avoid social feeds right before practice. The contrast between stimulation and stillness is harder to bridge. Consider an entry cue, like putting your phone face down and turning off notifications for 20 minutes when you meditate. Bringing Zen into conversations and tasks. Practice a 2-breath reset before answering an email, starting a meeting, or making a call. The reset is simple. Inhale calmly for 2 counts. Exhale for 2 counts. This short pause creates a space to respond thoughtfully. Over time, these tiny resets change how you act under pressure. These variations keep the Zen approach practical for daily life. Try one adapted practice for a week and notice how it shifts your stress and clarity. The next chapter focuses on staying consistent, building momentum, and handling the real obstacles that block a regular practice. 4.1 Office-friendly Zen, 10 to 15 minutes. Use this short practice to reset between meetings or after a stressful call. It keeps the core Zen elements, anchor, non-judgmental noticing, and gentle intention, while fitting into a busy workday. Spend a little time clearing your immediate space so your mind can follow. Set a clear boundary. Small, repeatable rituals anchor attention and create psychological space. Before you begin, choose one clear physical cue, closing your laptop lid, turning your monitor slightly, or placing a notepad face down. That marks the shift from doing to being. Repeat it each time to train your brain to expect a pause. Make the cue quick and unobtrusive, so it's realistic in a busy schedule. Pair it with a soft alarm or a discrete desktop timer to protect the interval. If colleagues approach, a brief, polite signal like a hand raised or a closed-door sticker reinforces your boundary without guilt. Treat this boundary as a compassionate act toward your focus. The small interruption to your workflow pays back in clarity, fewer mistakes, and a calmer response to the next task. Over time, these tiny rituals build a habit of calm that travels with you through the workday. Anchor with 3 grounding breaths. Begin by planting your feet and softening the belly. Take 3 slow diaphragmatic breaths. Inhale through the nose. Feel the abdomen expand as you count silently to 4, then exhale fully for 4. Let the breath be deliberate but gentle, no force. These 3 breaths act as an anchor, shifting attention from anxious thoughts to immediate sensations. Notice how each inhalation brings space and each exhale releases tightness. If your mind wanders, simply return to the counting without judgment. Grounding breaths modulate heart rate and nudge the nervous system toward balance, which is especially useful before a meeting or difficult conversation. You can vary the count to suit your comfort, 3 counts in and 4 out, or slow equal counts. The key is consistency and intention. Treat these breaths as a tiny ritual that signals safety and focus. Practiced regularly, they become a portable doorway into calm you can open anytime during the day. Quick body scan and release. Spend 3 focused minutes scanning shoulders, neck, jaw, and hands, the places stress most commonly gathers. Begin by bringing a soft curiosity to each area. Notice sensations, tightness, temperature, or holding patterns, without trying to change anything immediately. Label the sensation briefly in your mind: tightness, ache, or warmth. With each exhale, imagine sending breath to the tight spot and allowing the muscles to soften. You can combine awareness with small, deliberate releases. Drop your shoulders, tilt the head gently, unclench the jaw, or open your hands. These micro-movements reinforce the message that relaxation is safe and achievable. Keep the tone compassionate. If tension doesn't dissolve fully, simply acknowledge that it's present and release what you can. The aim is not perfect relaxation, but breaking habitual muscle holding and restoring circulation and ease. This short, intentional practice clears physical distraction so your mind can return to tasks with greater clarity. Set a simple intention for next task. Close the short session by choosing a concise, present tense intention that guides how you'll approach the next meeting or task. Simple lines like, I will listen clearly, I will respond with care, or I will focus on one priority are effective because they're actionable and easy to remember. Say it silently or whisper it to give the practice a bridge into the work ahead. Make the intention specific to the context and framed positively, what you want to bring, not what you want to avoid. Pair the phrase with an image or brief visualization. Imagine listening without interrupting, or seeing the inbox as organized and manageable. This small mental rehearsal primes attention and behavior. Treat the intention as an experiment rather than a demand. Let it soften expectations and reduce reactivity. When you return to work, glance at your cue, an open notebook or a sticky note to reconnect. Over time, these short, purposeful commitments transform a brief pause into sustained clarity and resilience. 4-point commute Zen, public transit and ride shares. Turn travel time into a pocket of calm. These variations work while you're seated on a bus or train or riding in a car as a passenger. Keep eyes open if you prefer and use sensory anchors so the practice stays grounded in the present. Choose a simple sensory anchor. Choosing a simple sensory anchor gives your mind something steady to return to amid movement and noise. Pick one reliable contact: the weight of your feet on the floor, the seat beneath you, the rhythm of your breath, or the contact of your hands in your lap. The anchor should be neutral, easy to notice, and always available during the ride. Practice by briefly pointing attention to your chosen anchor for a breath or two whenever you board. If thoughts or announcements pull you away, gently bring your attention back to the anchor without criticism. You can label the anchor silently, feet or seat, to help reorient quickly. Over time, the anchor becomes a compact habit, a tiny safety line you can use to steady your nervous system. In noisy or crowded conditions, focus on the subtlest aspect of the sensation, like the slight pressure under your heels, and let that quiet point ground you. Short breath focus, 7 minutes. Use a compact breath-focused session to stabilize attention when time is tight. Start with 3 minutes of steady breath counting. Inhale 1, exhale 1. Count up to 4 or 6 depending on comfort, keeping the breath natural. The counting anchors rhythm and reduces the pressure to control breathing. After 3 minutes, shift for 4 minutes into a qualitative observation. Notice temperature at the nostrils, the rise of the belly, the pause between inhale and exhale, and the feeling of air leaving your chest. If your mind wanders, treat each return as the actual practice. Don't judge the distraction. Simply bring attention back to the breath and resume counting or noticing. Keep posture relaxed but upright. If you prefer, leave eyes open and soften your gaze. Use an unobtrusive timer or a soft chime to mark the transition from counting to observation and the end of the practice. This short cycle is portable and reliable, perfect for a bus stop, platform wait, or between rideshare stops. Open awareness for longer rides. On longer commutes, widen practice into open awareness after a focused breath cycle. Begin with a short breath anchor, 3 to 7 minutes, to ground attention. Then allow awareness to expand to include sounds, movement, visual scenes, and bodily sensations. The instruction is simple. Notice each experience as it arises, label it if helpful, sound, thought, tingle, and let it pass without gripping or pushing. Alternate between 5 to 8 minute segments of open awareness and brief breath returns when you need steadiness. If strong emotions or planning arise, acknowledge them and gently return to the breath for a minute to avoid getting swept away. Keep posture safe and peripheral vision clear if you need to watch stops. Open awareness trains a spacious, non-reactive relationship with whatever the commute brings, so you arrive less taxed and more available to the next moment. Practice this rhythm a few times on longer rides to reinforce the skill. Arrival intention. Finish your commute with a tiny, deliberate transition ritual so the calm carries off the vehicle. Begin by sitting still for 3 full, slow breaths, deliberately lengthening the exhale. On each out-breath, say a short phrase silently: I arrive calm, ready to be present, or another line that resonates. Feel the words land in your body. Soften the shoulders, unclench the jaw, and sense the weight of your feet connecting to the floor. Make the ritual tactile by placing a hand on your heart or the lower belly as you breathe. This anchors the intention physically. Use the breath and phrase as a cue before stepping off, entering a meeting, or opening your door at home. If the first attempt feels thin, repeat it after walking a few steps and notice how it shifts tone. Over time, this three-breath habit stitches your inner state to external action, so arrival becomes a mindful choice, not an automatic scramble. 4.3 Before Sleep Zen, 12 to 15 minutes. Evening meditation needs to be gentle and release momentum rather than build it. This bedtime variation emphasizes slowing the breath and softening the body so your nervous system can move toward rest. Keep instructions simple and unbusy. Soft settling and letting go. Begin lying down or reclining in your usual sleep position. Allow the body to soften. Unclench the jaw. Let the shoulders fall away from the ears and relax the hands. Take 2 slow, deliberate settling breaths, feeling the weight of your body on the mattress. With each exhale, invite the idea of effort to ease. Imagine a gentle release rather than trying to force calm. Use small cues to signal rest. Tell yourself quietly that activity is over and rest is welcome. If thoughts about unfinished tasks arise, acknowledge them without judgment and let them float away like leaves on a stream. Keep the tone kind and patient. This practice is about lowering intensity, not fixing everything at once. A soft posture and simple intention are enough. Trust that these few minutes of letting go prepare both body and mind for sleep. Slow full body scan. Move your attention like a warm, curious light from the crown of the head down to the toes. Take your time, there is no rush. As you pass each area, notice sensations, tightness, warmth, tingling, or ease. When you find a place of tension, pause and breathe gently into it, imagining the breath softening matter there. If the mind wanders to plans or worries, acknowledge the thought and guide the attention back to the body without criticism. Use the breath as an ally. On each exhale, imagine the tightness loosening a little more. Let the scan be exploratory rather than corrective. You are learning where the day collected its weight. Finish by widening awareness to the whole body lying supported. Feel the cohesive sense of relaxation you have cultivated, and rest with that ease for a few calm breaths before allowing sleep to follow. Lengthen the exhale. Gently make the exhale a little longer than the inhale, finding a rhythm that feels natural and unforced. You might inhale for 3 counts and exhale for 5, or simply lengthen the out-breath by an easy, comfortable margin. The aim is softness rather than strict timing. Ease is the guide. A longer exhale encourages the parasympathetic nervous system to engage, lowering heart rate and inviting drowsiness. Notice how the shoulders soften and the belly releases as the out-breath stretches. If counting helps, keep numbers low and the voice inside calm. If counting distracts, use a gentle sensation, like the feeling of air passing the nostrils, as your cue. Practice this pattern for several minutes during the body scan or while lying still. Allow the rhythm to settle you. Over time, simply lengthening the exhale becomes a quick, reliable doorway into sleep. Keep practice gentle and non-judgmental each night. Drift with a simple intention. End your practice with a brief, soothing intention that supports rest. Choose a phrase that feels simple and true for you. Examples include, I allow rest, I am safe, or may I let go. Repeat it silently a few times, matching its rhythm to your slow breath. The intention is a gentle invitation, not a command. If sleep arrives, let the intention dissolve naturally as you drift. There is no need to complete a formal closing. Allow the practice to melt into sleep. If sleep does not come, keep returning to the calm sensations in your body and the chosen phrase with patience. Each repetition softens mental tension and steadies attention. Treat the intention as a lamp guiding you toward rest. Avoid judging whether it worked. Instead, notice any subtle easing and give yourself credit for taking time to support your nervous system. 4.4 Micro sessions and moment practices, 3 to 5 minutes and 60-second resets. Small resets add up. When time is scarce, brief Zen practices reduce immediate stress and improve decision-making. Use these micro tools during spikes of tension or to bridge between tasks and conversations. 3-breath reset. Place a hand on your chest or belly and take 3 slow, full breaths. On each breath, soften the shoulders and lengthen the exhale. After the third breath, pause and name the feeling you notice: frustration, tightness, rushing, or flattened. Speaking the word quietly anchors awareness outside automatic thought. Once named, direct gentle attention toward where that feeling lives in your body: the throat, chest, forehead, or belly. Breathe toward that place as if offering warmth and space. You don't need to change or judge the sensation, only recognize and allow it. This short ritual interrupts reactive loops and brings a sliver of choice back into the moment. Use it before answering a message, stepping into a meeting, or when tension spikes. Over time, the three-breath reset becomes a reliable cue that calms physiology, supports clearer decisions, and preserves composure in fast-moving days. Feet on floor grounding, 3 minutes. If you're standing or seated, plant your feet and notice contact points with the ground or chair. Start by shifting weight subtly to notice pressure at heels, arches, and toes, then soften the muscles above the ankles so grounding can settle. Keep attention on the sensations in the feet for the whole short practice. For the full 3 minutes, maintain a gentle, curious attention. When the mind wanders, simply bring it back to where the feet meet the floor: texture, temperature, subtle movements. You can pair this with a simple breath count: inhale 2, exhale 2, while keeping foot awareness. Finish by lifting awareness slowly up the legs to the hips and back to the breath, carrying a sense of rootedness into the next task. Feet on floor grounding is discreet, office-friendly, and especially useful when you need rapid calm without changing posture or drawing attention. Tech habits to protect calm: use apps for timers and gentle guidance, but avoid feeds right before practice. Try an entry cue, such as placing your phone face down and pausing notifications for 20 minutes. These small safeguards make it easier to settle and prevent abrupt distractions that derail a short Zen reset. Start by choosing one reliable minimal app: a silent timer, a soft bell, or a short guided track that matches your micro-session length. Set the environment: screen down, volume muted, and a small ritual like closing the laptop lid or clearing a tiny desk space. If you use a guided voice, prefer calm tones rather than jarring alerts. Create predictable rules: 10 minutes of no social media before practice, or a one-click do not disturb for scheduled sessions. Over days, this trains your nervous system to expect a pause. With these small boundaries, technology becomes an ally in protecting the brief pockets of calm you need. 2-breath pause before interaction: before answering an email, starting a call, or speaking up, inhale for 2 counts and exhale for 2 counts. This micro-pause lets you step into the moment with more clarity and less reactivity. Keep the breath soft and intentional. No need for dramatic inhalations, just a simple centering. Repeat the 2-breath pause whenever tension rises: before you click send, when you pick up the phone, or when a difficult topic appears in a meeting. 4 quiet counts create a mental gap between stimulus and response, enough to interrupt habitual reactions and let a considered action emerge. Practiced consistently, this tiny habit becomes an anchor in daily life. Try it deliberately for a week. Use a sticky note or calendar reminder, and notice how conversations and decisions feel less rushed. The 2-breath pause is portable, discreet, and powerful at turning small moments into mindful choices. Chapter 5: Building a Sustainable Zen Habit: Scheduling, Motivation, and Troubleshooting. Intro: Good intentions are easy. Steady habits are harder. This chapter focuses on how to make your 15-minute Zen practice a regular part of life. You'll get practical advice for scheduling, keeping motivation alive, and handling common obstacles like boredom, restlessness, and guilt. The goal is simple: help you turn a few minutes of calm into a dependable resource you can use long-term. Creating a habit takes 2 consistent moves: a reliable cue and a manageable routine. When those parts are simple and repeatable, change happens without drudgery. Here you'll learn how to design cues, track progress in helpful ways, and keep yourself accountable with kindness instead of pressure. Design your cue and your time. Pair your session with an existing habit to reduce friction. Decide on either a fixed time, every day at 7:30 a.m., or a situational cue, right after lunch before the first meeting. Fixed times work well for people with regular schedules. Situational cues are better when your day varies. The key is repetition. The more consistent the cue, the more automatic the habit becomes. Make it enjoyable and frictionless. Small comforts increase likelihood you'll return. Use a favorite mug of tea afterward, a soft playlist reserved for practice, or a quiet corner with a small plant. At the same time, reduce barriers. Keep your timer where you can access it easily. Choose clothes that don't restrict movement and have a chair or cushion ready. Remove the need for decisions so it's easier to start. Start small and scale up. If daily 15 minutes feels too much, begin with 5 or 7 minutes. 2 short sessions can be more effective than skipping practice because 1 long session feels overwhelming. After a few weeks, increase duration gradually. Consistency matters more than length. A steady 5-minute habit done daily beats an hour once a week for long-term change. Keep motivation human, not moral. Motivation comes and goes. Instead of insisting you must practice, ask yourself what curiosity or benefit keeps you coming back. Notice improvements in sleep, focus, or relationship quality, and let those wins motivate you. Avoid framing practice as an obligation. Shame and harsh self-talk make habit building harder. Track progress with simple measures. Keep a short log, date, duration, and 1 line about how it felt. You can use an app, a notebook, or a simple calendar checkmark. Tracking doesn't mean perfection. It's a way to gather evidence that the practice is working and to spot patterns, what times work best, when you tend to skip, and how practice affects your day. Handle common obstacles. Obstacle, I'm too busy. Response, replace a half hour of screen time with 1 session or split the session into 2 shorter ones. Obstacle, I get sleepy. Response, try standing or opening a window to increase alertness. Obstacle, nothing changes. Response, keep a 2-week log of sleep, mood, and focus. Small benefits often appear gradually. Dealing with boredom and frustration. Boredom is part of practice. It can signal either avoidance or a plateau in learning. When boredom appears, try a small variation. Change your anchor, practice a walking meditation, or record a brief guided version to follow. Frustration often points to expectations. Notice when you expect dramatic results and gently lower those expectations to the simple benefits. Practice becomes steady when you allow small, consistent improvements rather than demand large, immediate changes. Social accountability and community. Share your goal with a friend or practice buddy. Agree to check in once a week. Small groups or workplace mindfulness sessions can make practice easier and more enjoyable. If you prefer privacy, using social accountability apps or habit trackers can provide a similar nudge. Community isn't required, but it's helpful for many people. Plan for interruptions. Life interrupts practice. Have a plan for missed sessions, a short recovery practice, or a non-judgmental note in your log. Resist the all-or-nothing mindset. 1 missed day doesn't mean you failed. Come back the next day with curiosity about what stopped you and a practical fix. Keep practice meaningful over time. Mix structure with novelty. Use focused breathwork 1 week, a walking practice the next, and a loving-kindness short session after that. Variety keeps interest alive. Also, review your reasons for practicing every month. Ask, what have I noticed? What would I like more of? This keeps the practice aligned with your life rather than a boxed obligation. Celebrate small wins. Recognize progress, a calmer meeting, improved sleep, or fewer impulsive reactions. Celebrate these wins in small, meaningful ways, an extra 5-minute walk, a favorite tea, or a note to yourself. Positive reinforcement helps habit formation more than self-criticism. When to seek support. If meditation brings up strong emotions or memories that feel overwhelming, consider talking to a mental health professional. Meditation can surface issues that benefit from guidance. That doesn't mean the practice failed. It means it's working to clear out what's been tucked away. Professional support helps you integrate those changes safely. Building a sustainable Zen habit is about kindness, simplicity, and realistic expectations. Design cues, reduce friction, and track progress gently. When obstacles appear, respond with curiosity rather than criticism. With these tools, your 15-minute practice will grow into a trusted resource you use without thinking. The final chapter shows how to bring Zen beyond the cushion, applying calm and clarity to communication, productivity, and relationships, so meditation transforms your whole day. 5.1 Design your cue and your time. Start by picking a clear cue and a time that fits your days. A cue can be a clock time or an event you already do. Make the choice simple so you don't waste energy deciding. The right cue makes the practice automatic and keeps your 15 minutes from being another good intention. Pick a cue that suits your rhythm. Choosing the right cue means matching meditation to how your day actually flows. If your mornings are predictable, a fixed clock time, like 7:30 a.m., cements routine quickly and signals the brain to expect practice. When your schedule shifts day to day, a situational cue, such as right after lunch or after turning off work chat, offers flexibility while still attaching practice to an action you already perform. Pay attention to your energy and likely interruptions. Avoid cues that collide with known stressors, back-to-back meetings, or low-energy windows that tempt you to skip. Use simple reminders, phone alarms labeled with a friendly note, a calendar block, or a visual cue like placing your meditation cushion where you'll see it. Treat your cue as an experiment. Try it for 2 weeks. Observe how often you follow through, then fine-tune. The right cue feels natural rather than forced, reducing friction and turning those 15 minutes into a reliable pocket of calm. Anchor meditation to an existing habit. Find a strong, already established habit to attach your meditation to. Brushing teeth, making morning coffee, or shutting down your laptop. The existing behavior acts as a dependable trigger so you don't rely on willpower alone. Choose something that happens daily and isn't likely to be skipped. Make the connection explicit. Say to yourself, after I finish my lunch, I will meditate, or place a sticky note where the anchor happens. Practically, prepare the items you need near that anchor. Set your cushion beside the kettle, or keep a short guided track in the same playlist as your morning songs. To make starting effortless, over time, the anchor will cue your mind automatically. If the anchor changes, a new job, different commute, pick a fresh habit rather than abandoning the practice. Anchoring reduces decision fatigue and steadily transforms intention into a near-automatic 5 or 15-minute pause. Make a tiny, pre-practice ritual. A brief 2-step ritual signals your brain it's time to switch modes. Keep it short, under a minute, so the ritual invites rather than delays practice. Small actions have outsized power. A single stretch to release tension and a slow sip of water can be enough. Choose rituals that are sensory and simple. Soft lighting, a quick breathing anchor, lighting a candle, or setting a short timer with a calming tone. The goal is not ceremony, but ease. If you follow with a reward, a favorite mug of tea afterward, don't let the reward become a barrier. Prepare the tea in advance. Rotate rituals occasionally to keep them fresh, but maintain the 2-step constraint so starting stays frictionless. Over time, your brain learns the sequence and settles more quickly into meditation, making those 15 minutes feel natural and restorative rather than another task on your list. Be realistic and test it for 2 weeks. Treat your new cue as a mini experiment. Commit to at least 2 weeks before making a judgment. Habits require repetition. 2 weeks gives a clearer signal about whether the cue fits your rhythm or just feels good in theory. During the trial, keep a simple log, date, when you practiced, whether you stuck to the cue and one sentence about how it felt. Note patterns, days you missed, competing commitments, or energy dips. These data points reveal practical obstacles and help you adjust without self-blame. After 2 weeks, reflect. Did the cue produce regular sessions? If not, tweak, shift the time, change the anchor, or shorten the session. Small changes matter more than wholesale starts and stops. Add friendly reminders, reduce surrounding demands, or invite a practice buddy if you need company. Celebrate partial wins and extend the experiment for another fortnight if needed. Habit formation is iterative, not instant. 5.2. Make it enjoyable and frictionless. Comfort and ease increase repeat visits. Remove obstacles and add small pleasures so the practice doesn't feel like a chore. When starting takes almost no effort, you're far more likely to return the next day. Create a minimal, pleasant space. Reserve a small, consistent spot for your Zen practice so beginning requires no thought. It might be a corner of a room, a favorite chair, or a small cushion by a window. Keep it tidy and uncluttered. Visual calm supports mental calm. 1 or 2 gentle comforts, a plant, a soft blanket, or a warm light, send a quiet signal that this place is for pause. Make the space inviting in sensory but simple ways. A subtle scent, a low lamp, or a textured cushion you enjoy touching. If you travel or need to move, create a portable version, a lightweight mat, a travel cushion, or a small pouch with your timer and earbuds. so the cue remains consistent. The aim is low effort and steady association. When you see the spot, your body and mind recognize an invitation to breathe and return. Over time, that physical cue becomes the same kind of prompt as a familiar doorway or a morning coffee. Reduce startup steps. Lower the activation energy between intention and practice. Place your timer or meditation app on your phone's home screen. Preload a guided track, or set a single voice command with your assistant. Wear comfortable clothes you can sit in and leave a dedicated cushion or chair accessible so you don't need to decide where to go. Simplify the routine to near instant action. Have your timer preset, earbuds waiting, and a water glass nearby. Prepare the night before if mornings are rushed. Lay out clothes and position your cushion where you'll see it. Aim for a 5-second path from thought to action. When you decide to practice, you can be seated and breathing within moments. The fewer the steps, the higher the chance of following through consistently. Turn it into a tiny ritual you look forward to. Add a small, pleasant reward to your session to make repetition feel delightful rather than dutiful. This could be an extra long sip of a favorite tea, a brief stretch, or a short walk in fresh air afterward. Reserve a specific playlist or light a candle only for practice. Those sensory signals build anticipation and mark the session as special. Rituals don't need to be elaborate. A 2-step sequence, sit, inhale, then reach for a cozy mug, creates a reliable pattern your brain learns to value. Keep rewards small and immediate so they reinforce the habit. A simple 5-minute follow-up treat is more effective than a distant promise. Over time, the ritual itself becomes part of the reward, turning your 15-minute Zen into a mini anchor of calm in a busy day. Use tech to help, not hijack. Let technology support focus without stealing attention. Choose single-purpose meditation apps or pre-downloaded guided tracks that open straight to a session. Use gentle alarms, widgets, or habit reminders rather than apps that tempt you to scroll. Put distracting apps out of sight or use app limits during practice windows to protect the moment. Set devices to do not disturb and keep notifications muted before you begin. If you prefer automation, create a shortcut that starts a timer, dims lights, and plays a chosen track with one tap or voice command. Treat tech as a tool. It should streamline starting and ending, not broaden options. When used intentionally, tech reduces friction and keeps your short Zen practice sharp, simple, and truly restorative. 5.3. Track progress, motivation, and community. Tracking and support keep momentum alive. Use simple, kind methods to notice patterns and celebrate progress. Motivation should be friendly curiosity, not harsh duty. Keep a short, honest log. Keeping a brief, honest log makes progress visible. Each entry needs just the date, duration, and one line about how it felt. A single sentence is enough. Choose the tool that fits your life. A checked calendar, a note on your phone, a sticky note, or a tiny pocket notebook. The aim isn't perfection, but awareness. Over weeks, the log becomes a mirror that highlights small gains you might otherwise miss. A calmer commute, fewer racing thoughts, or clearer focus at work. Seeing strings of check marks naturally boosts motivation. Be kind in your notes. If you missed a day, jot why and what you'll try next. Celebrate small wins with a quick symbol or word. This gentle record keeps momentum and supplies practical data for tweaks, times that work, days you skip, and how practice affects mood. Over time, the archive becomes a source of encouragement and insight you can return to. Focus on human motivation, not moral pressure. Motivation that feels humane and practical outlasts guilt. Ask yourself what drew you to Zen: clearer focus, calmer evenings, more patience with others, and bring those reasons into view before a session. Personal benefits are more energizing than abstract obligations. Replace "I should" with small curiosities. What happens if I try this now? Or how will I feel after 5 minutes? Those questions shift practice from duty to experimentation, lowering resistance and opening interest. Notice progress with friendly attention. When you sleep better or handle stress more calmly, let that count as evidence. If you miss a day, respond with compassion and a simple plan. Use tiny celebrations or notes to reinforce kind motivation. It builds a lasting habit far better than shame ever could. Use social nudges that fit you. Social accountability can be a gentle lever or a heavy bar. Choose what suits you. Tell one trusted friend about your plan. Agree to a weekly check-in. or practice with a colleague after a meeting. Even the smallest social nudge often increases consistency. If public sharing feels uncomfortable, try apps that offer anonymous streaks, reminders, or community challenges. A private group chat where members post one line after a session creates light, positive pressure without shame. Design the nudge to be supportive, not punitive. Celebrate small wins, swap brief tips, and keep check-ins short. At work, suggest a 2-minute breath pause before meetings or a weekly quiet break with a coworker. For students, pair focused study with a 5-minute Zen switch. These tailored nudges integrate practice into life, rather than adding one more item to your to-do list. Review and adjust monthly. A monthly review turns routine into a living practice. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes at the end of each month to scan your log, notice trends, and ask what helped or hindered your consistency. Regular review prevents the practice from going on autopilot. Ask targeted questions. Which cues worked? When did you skip and why? And did shorter sessions feel better some weeks? Use answers to make small, specific changes. Shift your cue, split sessions, or try a new format like walking meditation. Treat adjustments as experiments, not failures. Track each tweak for a few weeks, then reassess. You can combine this with a monthly intention, one small quality to cultivate, such as patience or focus, and orient sessions around it. Small adaptations sustain momentum and deepen benefits over time. 5.4 Troubleshooting, boredom, interruptions, and strong emotions. Obstacles are normal. Have simple plans for common problems so you don't lose momentum. Respond with curiosity and small adjustments rather than blame. When boredom shows up, vary the practice. Boredom is a common signal, not failure. It can mean the mind is avoiding something or that your nervous system has adapted to the same routine. Rather than abandoning practice, treat boredom as useful data. It tells you it's time for small, intentional change. Rotate anchors and formats to refresh attention. Try a body scan one day, a focused breath session the next, a 5-minute walking meditation, or a guided recording you haven't used before. Tiny shifts, changing posture, the length of exhales, or the focus point, can reignite curiosity without breaking momentum. Keep the core habit. Stay consistent with time or cue, but vary the content. This preserves structure while making practice feel alive. If boredom persists, briefly journal about it after the session. What came up, what you noticed, and use that note to choose the next variation. Approaching boredom with curiosity turns a stumbling block into a doorway to deeper engagement. Plan for interruptions and missed days. Interruptions are inevitable. Planning for them keeps guilt from derailing progress. Create a simple recovery plan, a 1 or 2 minute breathing reset, a 5-minute seated practice, or a mindful stretch. These options let you acknowledge the interruption and still nourish the habit. Log the interruption without judgment, just a note of what happened and any quick insight. This builds a non-punitive record you can learn from, instead of a list of failures. If a day is lost entirely, treat it as data. What triggered the miss and what small adjustment could prevent it next time? Build a compassionate next step routine. Return the following day, perhaps with a slightly shorter session to lower resistance. Consistency grows from forgiveness and practical planning. One missed day is an invitation to adapt, not a signal to quit. Handle sleepiness and low energy. Feeling drowsy during practice is common, especially if you're tired or practicing at low energy times. First, check basic factors: hydration, recent food, and whether you've had enough restorative sleep. If chronic tiredness is present, consider adjusting your schedule rather than forcing practice when you're depleted. Use posture and environment to boost alertness. Practice standing or do a short walking meditation. Open a window for fresh air or turn on brighter light. Shorten sessions to 5 or 7 minutes when you're groggy. Quality-focused attention matters more than duration. If morning grogginess is the norm, try a brief energizing ritual before meditation. Light stretches, splash of cool water, or a brisk walk. If persistent fatigue interferes with daily life, consult a healthcare provider. Gentle adjustments keep your Zen habit sustainable without turning practice into another exhausting task. Seek support when strong emotions arise. Meditation can surface intense feelings, sadness, anger, grief, or memories that feel overwhelming. This is often a sign the practice is working to reveal material that needs care. Prepare a supportive response plan so you don't feel alone when strong emotions appear. Start with immediate tools. Pause the session, ground with the senses, name 5 things you see or feel, and practice self-compassionate phrases like, "I'm here for this moment." If emotions remain intense, reach out to a trusted friend, mentor, or a meditation teacher for guidance. Consider professional support when emotions impair daily functioning or persist. A therapist or counselor can help integrate what meditation brings up safely and constructively. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a mature step that deepens and safeguards your long-term practice. Chapter 6, Bringing Zen into Everyday Life: Communication, Focus, and Long-Term Benefits. Intro: Meditation isn't only a personal pause. It changes how you interact with work, study, and the people around you. This chapter shows how the calm and focus built through 15-minute Zen practices can improve communication, boost productivity, and create more balanced relationships. You'll get practical tools to use your practice in real situations, along with an overview of long-term benefits you can expect if you keep up a steady routine. The aim is to make meditation useful outside of the cushion. The internal skills you build, attention, emotional regulation, and perspective, translate directly into better listening, clearer thinking, and a steadier life. Here are simple ways to apply your practice during conversations, stressful tasks, and moments of decision. Using a 2-breath pause in communication. Before a meeting, difficult conversation, or important email, take 2 slow, conscious breaths. This short pause resets your nervous system and creates space to choose your response rather than reacting. In a heated moment, 1 or 2 slow breaths reduce the urgency of emotion and allow more thoughtful words. Try this before you hit send on an email that feels charged or before answering a blunt comment. The pause is a tiny habit that prevents many avoidable conflicts. Active listening with Zen presence. Active listening is easier when you're less distracted. Use your anchor, short breath awareness, or a soft phrase before and during conversations to remain present. When someone speaks, notice your urge to plan your reply. Recognize it kindly and return to listening. When the other person finishes, pause 1 breath before responding. That pause signals respect and often leads to clearer, calmer exchanges. Focus and deep work. Use the 15-minute practice as a primer for focused work. After a quick session, choose a single task and set a 25 or 50-minute block of undistracted time, a Pomodoro. The calm you build reduces multitasking and improves concentration. If your work involves creative thinking, start with open awareness practice. Let thoughts flow without getting stuck, then move into focused effort. This combination supports both clarity and productivity. Managing emotional reactivity. Emotional reactivity is often automatic. Zen practice increases the gap between stimulus and response. When you notice anger or anxiety, identify the feeling and its location in your body. Breathe into it and name it. This is tightness, or this is heat. Giving an experience a label reduces its intensity. Then decide what action will help, not what reaction feels right in the moment. This shift improves judgment and reduces regret. Decision-making and clarity. Complex decisions benefit from a calm mind. Before deciding, take a short meditation break to separate immediate emotion from longer-term thinking. If a decision is urgent, use a 3 to 5 minute breath practice to calm the body, then list 3 practical next steps. Calm doesn't remove risk, but it clarifies values and improves the quality of choices. Zen at work, meetings and teamwork. Introduce short breathing pauses at the start of meetings to improve presence. If you lead, suggest a 60-second silence to center attention. Teams that practice short pauses often notice improved listening, fewer interruptions, and more efficient meetings. Use moments of silence intentionally to transition between agenda items, to de-escalate tension, or to reflect after a difficult point. Applying Zen to study and learning. Students can use quick Zen sessions before studying to prime attention. Before exams, use calming breath practice to steady nerves and improve recall. During study breaks, a short body scan restores energy better than scrolling through social media. These small shifts build stamina and reduce burnout over long academic terms. Relationship benefits. Relationships improve when people are less reactive and more present. Your calm signals safety to others and encourages more open, honest interactions. Use your practice to notice when you're triggered and choose to listen or speak from a grounded place. Small practices like a two-breath pause before responding in an argument can change the tone of a relationship over time. Long-term benefits to expect. Improved stress resilience. You'll recover faster from setbacks and feel less drained by daily pressures. Better attention and memory. Regular practice strengthens the ability to sustain focus and reduces distractibility. Emotional balance. You'll notice fewer extreme swings in mood and more stable responses to triggers. Physical health improvements. Lower blood pressure, improved sleep, and fewer stress-related aches are common. These benefits appear gradually and often subtly. Keep a simple journal to notice changes over weeks and months. Small wins are where lasting motivation lives. Keeping Zen alive long-term. Integrate practice into key life moments. The start of your workday, before a study block, or during family time. Use short checks, 2 breaths before a meeting or a 1-minute body scan before dinner to keep calm in daily interactions. Revisit your intention regularly so the practice remains meaningful and not just another item on a to-do list. Teaching others and setting boundaries. As your practice deepens, people around you may notice and ask about it. Share simple practices rather than complex theory. Offer a short group practice when appropriate. Also, use your calm to create healthy boundaries. A steady presence makes it easier to say no or to ask for time when you need it. Final encouragement. Quick Zen is a small habit with big returns. 15 minutes a day creates a reliable resource you can use in every part of life. The practice makes stress easier to handle, decisions clearer, and relationships kinder. Start small, keep it simple, and build gently. Over time, you'll find that moments of calm become your default rather than a rare luxury. Thank yourself for every practice. Each one is an investment in steadier focus, deeper rest, and a life lived with more presence. With these tools, you're ready to make Zen a lasting part of your day. Keep practicing. Stay curious about what changes, and use the short exercises from this book whenever you need a reset. Your 15 minutes can shift an entire day. 6.1 2-breath pause and everyday communication. Use a tiny pause to shift how you show up. This section focuses on the simple 2-breath pause and related habits that create space before you speak, reply, or send a message. Small pauses change tone, reduce reactivity, and make conversations clearer and kinder. Make the pause a habit before important moments. 2 slow, conscious breaths before a meeting, an email, or stepping into a difficult conversation work like a mental reset. That tiny pause calms the nervous system, offers a moment of choice, and reduces the automatic reactivity that often leads to unhelpful words or decisions. Think of the pause as a simple tool you carry with you. Quick, portable, and always available. Section the pause into specific triggers so it becomes automatic. Before you hit send when a notification jars you or when you enter a room, pair it with a consistent cue, a closed laptop, a deep exhale, or a visual marker on your desk to reinforce the habit. Repetition in the same situations trains your body and mind to expect the pause, making it a dependable way to show up clearer and kinder. Over time, this tiny practice builds momentum. It's not about perfection, but about creating space. Start by choosing 2 moments a day to practice the pause, and watch how those small choices shift tone and outcomes. Use the pause to de-escalate heated moments. When emotions escalate, urgency can hijack clear thinking. Taking 2 measured breaths interrupts that automatic surge and lowers physiological intensity, giving you a brief window to assess what's really happening. In that calmer space, you can notice sensations, tightness in the chest, heat in the face, and label them quietly. Naming a feeling even mentally reduces its grip and helps you respond rather than react. After identifying the sensation, decide on a wise next step. A short break, a slower reply, or a question that clarifies intent. This small, deliberate sequence, breathe, notice, name, choose, reduces regret and prevents messages or comments you might later wish to take back. It also models calm to others, often cooling the interaction. Practicing this pause in low-stakes moments makes it easier to use when stakes are high, turning an emergency impulse into a manageable option. Active listening with a breath anchor. Active listening deepens when you bring a single breath or soft phrase into the conversation as an anchor. Before someone begins, take 1 quiet inhale and set your intention to listen. As they speak, notice when your mind drifts toward forming a reply. Gently return attention to the speaker and the rhythm of your breath. This keeps you present and reduces the habit of planning answers instead of truly hearing. When the other person finishes, pause one breath before responding. That small silence signals respect, gives you time to shape a thoughtful response, and often invites the speaker to add what truly matters. Use short, compassionate questions to clarify rather than assume, and let the breath guide your steadiness. Over time, this practice rewires conversation patterns, fostering clearer exchanges and deeper connection with less effort. Use the pause to protect boundaries and tone. A calm two-breath pause helps you speak from choice, not compulsion, which is essential for healthy boundaries. When asked for something you can't or don't want to do, breathe first and then respond with clarity. Simple, framed responses like, "I need a moment to think. I'll reply by this afternoon." Keep tone steady and reduce the pressure to justify or over-explain. Breathing before you speak also softens defensiveness and prevents reactive language that undermines boundaries. It creates dignity. You remain present, clear, and respectful while holding your limits. People often respond more cooperatively when boundaries are communicated calmly. Practice this pause in small refusals and routine requests so it becomes second nature. Over time, steadier tone and consistent boundaries create healthier interactions and preserve your energy for what matters most. 6.2 Focus, deep work, and study. Short Zen sessions prime attention so you can move into focused work with less friction. This section gives practical ways to pair a 15-minute practice with common productivity rhythms for clearer thinking and longer concentration. Use Zen as a primer for Pomodoro or focus blocks. After a quick 15-minute Zen practice, pick one task and set an uninterrupted block of time, 25 or 50 minutes depending on your rhythm. The calm you build reduces the pull of notifications and multitasking. Close tabs, silence devices, and dedicate that block to one outcome so your attention has a clear target. If your attention drifts, pause for one conscious breath and return gently to the work. Repeat the sequence: brief meditation, focused block, short rest. Over days, this pattern trains sustained attention and makes deep work feel less daunting. Treat the primer as a commitment device. The practice becomes the cue to begin, signaling your brain it is time to concentrate. Celebrate small wins at the end of each block to reinforce the habit and carry momentum into the next session. You can adjust the length of the Zen primer. 5 minutes works on tight days, and vary block length by task difficulty. Keep a simple log of sessions to notice growing focus and to protect these blocks on your calendar. Combine open awareness and focused effort for creativity. For creative tasks, start with an open awareness practice for a few minutes. Sit quietly and notice thoughts, feelings, and images without grabbing or judging. Let associations arise and jot stray ideas quickly without editing. This widens the field of possibility. After this receptive period, shift deliberately into a focused session where you choose one promising idea and apply disciplined attention. Give that idea a 25 to 50-minute block and resist the urge to chase every new thought that pops up. The alternation clears mental clutter and widens the space where original connections form. Try a cycle of 5 to 10 minutes of open awareness, followed by 25 to 40 minutes of focused work, then a short reset to let insights incubate. Over time, this rhythm trains both divergent and convergent thinking. You learn to open broadly and commit narrowly. Trust the process. Often your best ideas arrive when you balance spaciousness with purpose. Short resets beat scrolling during study breaks. Instead of reaching for your phone between study sets, try a 1 to 3 minute body scan or breath practice. Sit or stand and notice contact points: feet, seat, shoulders. Breathe fully and allow tension to soften so your nervous system can recover. These brief resets restore energy more effectively than social media and reduce cognitive fatigue. They interrupt the reactive habit loop, lowering mental noise so you return to study with fresher attention and improved clarity. Use the reset as a deliberate boundary. Set a short timer, close study materials, and commit to the practice. Tie a simple micro-routine: 3 slow breaths, a quick stretch, or a mindful sip of water, to signal the brain that one focused block has ended and the next will begin. Over weeks, this habit strengthens memory, by giving the mind space to consolidate learning and build study stamina without drain. Small pauses compound into steadier focus and less burnout. Calm exam nerves with a focused breathing ritual. Before tests or presentations, take 3 to 5 slow, intentional breaths to lower heart rate and steady attention. Inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 5, if that feels comfortable, and notice your shoulders soften as you exhale. Do a quick grounding check. Notice the weight of your feet, the contact of your back against the chair, and the rhythm of your breath. Name a clear intention such as, I will focus on one question at a time to align mind and action. If anxiety returns during the exam, pause for one slow breath, recenter on the present question, and continue. The ritual becomes a reliable anchor. Repeated practice trains your nervous system to shift from panic to task-focused calm. Simple rituals aren't about eliminating nerves, but about giving you tools to manage them. Trust that small, repeatable actions improve recall and performance, more than trying to force confidence. 6.3 Managing emotions and better decisions. Meditation widens the gap between stimulus and reaction, letting you respond from clarity. This section outlines simple checks that help you calm strong feelings and make choices with more composure and wisdom. Name and feel the emotion before acting. When anger or anxiety surfaces, pause and allow yourself to notice where it lives in your body. Naming the sensation, this is tightness, or this is worry, creates immediate distance, turning an overwhelming wave into a manageable signal. This tiny act of labeling engages your thinking mind and reduces the emotional charge, making it easier to observe rather than react. Once labeled, breathe into that area for a few cycles. Instead of pushing the feeling away, direct soft attention toward its texture, movement, or temperature. Often sensations shift, soften, or reveal what they are asking for: a break, a boundary, or more information. After noticing, ask, do I need to act now, step away, or gather more facts? Make the simplest, most skillful choice you can from that clearer place. Even deciding to wait for 20 minutes and breathe is a wise response. Over time, this habit reduces regretted impulses and strengthens intentional action. Use brief practices for urgent decisions. When a choice is time-sensitive, give yourself a brief, focused reset. A 3 to 5 minute breath practice calms the nervous system enough to reduce immediate reactivity without costing much time. Sit or stand quietly, lengthen the exhale slightly, and follow the sensations of a few full breaths to steady body and mind. Once the body is steadier, list 3 practical next steps you could take. Keep them concrete and achievable. Call one person, draft a quick reply, or schedule a short follow-up. Limiting options prevents paralysis by analysis and makes action possible when stakes feel high. Calm won't remove uncertainty, but it reveals what matters. With clearer priorities, you make choices that align with values rather than fear. Practice this micro-habit in low-stakes moments so it becomes automatic when pressure rises. Urgent decisions will feel less overwhelming and more skillful. Turn reactions into considered responses. Train the habit of asking 2 quick questions when you feel triggered. What am I feeling? And what will help right now? These prompts shift attention away from blame and toward practical problem solving. The questions are simple anchors that interrupt automatic stories and invite curiosity about the experience. Often the helpful response is small. Take a few breaths, step outside for a minute, or ask a clarifying question. Small actions change the system you're in without escalating emotion. They also model calm to others and create space for more constructive dialogue. Practice these questions until they become a reflex. Over weeks, you'll notice fewer impulsive replies and less regret. The habit strengthens self-trust because you're consistently choosing considered responses. In conflicts, this approach tends to de-escalate tension and leads to clearer, kinder outcomes. To deepen the skill, rehearse these questions during your meditation practice and note what responses often help. Over time, you'll carry a quieter, more intentional presence into stressful moments. Build long-term emotional balance through routine. Daily Zen practice creates a reliable baseline that softens emotional extremes and improves recovery after setbacks. Even short sessions compound. 3 or 15 minutes regularly will change how quickly you return to center. Consistency matters more than duration. Regularity trains the nervous system to expect calm, Keep a simple journal to note moments when you respond differently than in the past. Record the trigger, your response, and one small win. Over weeks and months, these entries reveal patterns and progress, and they help you design targeted practices for recurring triggers. Complement meditation with practical adjustments, better sleep, brief movement, and asking for support when needed. Share progress with a friend or coach to keep motivation alive. As your baseline steadies, you'll notice fewer mood swings, clearer thinking, and a stronger capacity for compassionate action in daily life. Be patient. Change is gradual, and small, steady efforts accumulate into meaningful resilience. 6.4. Bringing Zen to work, relationships, and growth. Apply Zen beyond private practice so calm shapes team dynamics, friendships, and long-term habits. This section gives practical steps to weave short checks and shared pauses into daily life for durable benefits. Introduce short pauses in meetings and teamwork. Begin meetings with a 30 to 60-second silence to center attention and signal a collective reset. As a leader, invite a brief breath or set a shared intention. This tiny ritual cues participants to leave distractions behind and arrive fully. Use a short silence between agenda items to let ideas settle and give quieter voices space to be heard. Teams that adopt these pauses often experience fewer interruptions, clearer contributions, and decisions that reflect more thoughtful input. The practice takes little time but raises collaboration quality, reduces meeting fatigue, and models mindful behavior across the group. Try it for 2 weeks. Start with one intentional pause per meeting, invite feedback, and keep it optional so people don't feel policed. Over time, these seconds compound into calmer, more efficient teamwork. Let presence improve relationships. Your calm signals safety and invites openness. Practicing brief breath checks during conversations helps you notice reactivity before it escalates. When you feel triggered, pause and take 2 slow breaths. This creates space to choose steadiness over reflex. Simple rituals: 2 breaths before replying or a 1-breath pause after someone finishes speaking. Shift the tone immediately. These gestures show respect, reduce defensive replies, and often lead to clearer, kinder exchanges. Over weeks, these small choices accumulate. Fewer arguments spiral, and more conversations reach mutual understanding. Practice noticing without judgment. Name the feeling briefly: anger, anxiety, and return to listening. Small acts of curiosity and gratitude amplify trust and make busy lives feel more connected. Teach simply and hold healthy boundaries. When others ask about your practice, offer brief, practical techniques rather than long explanations. A 1-minute guided pause, a 2-breath reset, or a simple body scan demo is easier to try and more likely to stick than theory. Invite colleagues or friends to try a short pause before a meeting or an important conversation. Keep it optional and framed as support, not pressure. Curiosity invites participation more effectively than obligation. At the same time, use your calm to set boundaries. A steady, respectful tone makes it easier to say no, ask for time, or request clarity about responsibilities. Boundaries protect your focus and energy so your practice supports your priorities. Lead by example. Offer a quick group practice occasionally and share simple results you notice. Better focus, less reactivity. Keep language accessible, avoid jargon, and celebrate small wins so the practice remains inviting and sustainable. Track progress and keep practice meaningful. Keep a short weekly log of sessions, moments when practice helped, and small wins. Recording brief notes, 2 lines per entry, is enough to notice trends without becoming another chore. Use habit stacking to tether meditation to existing routines, after your morning coffee, before a meeting, or at the start of a study block. These anchors make consistency easier and help the practice fit into busy schedules. Revisit your intention monthly, why you practice, and what you hope to change. Adjust session length, timing, or technique to keep practice aligned with evolving needs. Curiosity and gratitude transform routine into meaningful growth. Celebrate small improvements: better sleep, fewer reactive emails, or calmer study sessions. Share progress with a partner or team to build accountability and spread benefits. Over months, these small shifts compound into durable resilience and clearer focus. Keep entries simple. 3 observations per week suffice, and reflect regularly.